5 points behind the Montreal Impact, who have 9 wins, 1 loss, and 5 ties, good for 32 points. So Montreal off to a great start as usual. The Rhinos looking to keep pace with the Montreal Impact. And midfielder Aaron Lyons and Conley Adosian for the Rhinos were named to the USL First Division Team of the Week for Week 12. Great performance by those guys last week in that 5-4 thriller against Miami FC. They scored 5 goals in the second half en route to a final second victory. Ricky Lewis with the game winner in second half stoppage time off a free kick by Aaron Lyons. Conley Adosian had 2 goals in that game, and Matthew Delicott had 1 goal and 1 assist. For the Rhinos tonight, sitting out due to a yellow card accumulation is Rhinos midfielder John Ball. Now, he has been a huge presence in the midfield for this team after getting benched, coming off the bench, and just being a great presence on the right flank. He's accumulated 5 yellow cards. He'll be eligible to play tomorrow night against the Sheffield Wednesday club. Leading the way in goals for the Rhinos, Matthew Delicott. He's got 6 goals and 2 assists through 15 games this year. Delicott starting to slowly rack up the points here for the Rhinos. Tonight's opponent, the Toronto Lynx. They've gone winless in their first 11 games. They enter the match with a record of 3 wins, 10 losses, and 2 ties. They've got 11 points, but they've won 3 of their last 4 matches. And leading the way for the Toronto Lynx, Jamie Dodds. He's got 3 goals, 2 assists through 15 games this season for the Toronto Lynx. Now, looking at the Lynx and the Rhinos head-to-head, they played on May 13th at Toronto's Centennial Park Stadium. It was a 2-0 victory for the Rhinos over Toronto. All time, the Rhinos are 24-9-4 against the Toronto Lynx. And in Rochester, it's been a dominating performance. The Rhinos have won 16 matches, lost 2, and tied none against the Toronto Lynx. Let's look at tonight's matchup. When we come back, we'll be joined by Soccer Sam for his pregame thoughts tonight between the Rochester Raging Rhinos and the Toronto Lynx. You're listening to the Rochester Rhinos pregame show, sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream on the Rhinos Broadcast Network.
They've got new stomping grounds, and they're ready to kick it. The Rochester Rhinos stampede their way through another action-packed season from their new home at Paytech Park. And the only way to follow this herd is in the Democrat and Chronicle sports section. From the first whistle to the final kick, we'll be there to cover it all. So pick up a copy before and after every game, or subscribe today. Call 232-5550 or go online at democratandchronicle.com. It's the only way to follow the herd.
World Gym Rochester. It's more than just an experience, it's a feeling. Sure, you want to look good, but more importantly, you want to feel good. You've tried everything, right? Have you tried World Gym Rochester? The staff at the family-owned and operated World Gym Rochester realizes what it takes to get results, and they are making big changes to help you make big changes. Stop into World Gym Rochester at 1717 East Ave or call 271-0440 for more info. That's 271-0440.
Why are people so happy lately?
Because I'm saving money every minute, every day on the services I already use.
Yeah, like digital cable, Roadrunner, and digital phone together. I'm saving hundreds of dollars every year.
Finally, a company that gets it. Yep, join the thousands that have switched to Time Warner cables all in one.
Call 800-756-7956 today. That's 800-756-7956.
All in one, only from Time Warner Cable. Savings based on retail pricing, some restrictions apply.
$13,990 for a new Pontiac Vibe. $14,990 for a new Patrick Pontiac G6. Now, you won't believe this. $22,990 for a new GMC Extended Cab Sierra 4x4. $22,990. If you're not driving a GM vehicle, you could be driving a new Patrick Vibe starting at $13,990. A new Patrick G6 starting at $14,990. Or GM's best pickup, a Sierra Extended Cab 4x4 starting at $22,990. Just add tax, license, delivery, and all qualified incentives. Only till August 9th. The new Patrick Pontiac GMC. We are professional grade on the corner of West Henrietta and Lehigh Station Road. Just off 390 exit 12. Patrick is the only dealer in town to offer these prices only until August 9th. $13,990 for a Patrick Vibe. $14,990 for a G6. $22,990 for Patrick Sierra Extended Cab 4x4.
And now back to the Rhinos on Fickle 93.3 FM.
Welcome back to the Rochester Rhinos pregame show, sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream. Tonight it's the Rochester Raging Rhinos taking on the Toronto Lynx, and they're at the bottom of the USL First Division standings, but they've won 3 of their last 4 games. I'm joined by Soccer Sam up here in the press box at Paytech Park. And Sam, Toronto comes into the match hopefully turning things around. Hopefully we'll see an entertaining game here tonight for the Rhinos and the Lynx. Welcome to the pregame show.
Thank you very much. Joe, they won 3 of the 4. The one they lost was in Montreal, the no impact. Huge crowd, 12,000 fans. It's tough to play in Montreal for anybody. But last weekend, last Sunday, in Centennial Park in Toronto against Atlanta, they won 1-0. Coach Willie Fitzpatrick was in attendance, taking notes. Jamie Dad's the man you got to look out for. I predicted last game. I told you about Loco Poco Rodriguez.
You nailed him on the head.
Jamie Dodds, look for him tonight. The kid's for real. Grew up in Pittsburgh, knows the game, followed indoor soccer, fell in love with players. Riverhounds. Bonsu's one of the T-Bone Bonsu card you just talked about a few minutes ago.
Yep.
He grew up idolizing T-Bone Bonsu as a Riverhawk fan, and now he's here tonight to show what he has. That kid, he has aspirations to go to the U.S., the Canadian national team, and possibly the MLS. So I think you got to look for Jamie Dodds tonight. Good player.
Always with the great insight, Soccer Sam. And big week this week in the USL First Division. Sheffield Wednesday taking on the USL All-Stars in Cary, North Carolina. And tomorrow we get to see Sheffield Wednesday. It's a nice change of pace from the MLS friendlies.
Get to see these international teams. They're a great team. We saw them the other night playing. Unbelievable soccer Wednesday night on Fox Sports World. I couldn't believe the quality of play there. USL All-Stars did great, but they announced the name of the new team there in Cary, North Carolina.
What do you think about that?
I love it.
You like it?
The Railhawks. I love it.
What is a Railhawk?
That's exactly why I love it. What is a Railhawk? You can market it that way. A Railhawk, the city of Cary is surrounded by railroad tracks. It was a hub for the railroad industry back in the day. So you hear trains all the time. And then there's hawks all over the stadium, around the stadium. So now you can market the fact you could have your mascot, who's a hawk, dressed like a conductor. The tunnel could be like a black tunnel with a white light coming in. Woo, woo, choo, 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 choo. You could do like hawk, hawk. You could get little remote hawks over the goalies, the opposing goalies before the game. You could do so much with the whole hawk thing, the train thing. I think it's a great idea. That's what it's all about. A name today. It's not like the old days, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Or how do you market that? It didn't matter. But now today, you need marketing tools. The Rhinos, having the mascot, having Rex the Rhino, that whole thing is so important. So I think the Railhawks is an amazing name for a pro sports team. No one's ever used it. It'll never be used again. And I think it's a fantastic thing.
What goes through that mind of yours? Choo-choo, hawk. What is going on with you?
It's great marketing, but I can't wait till tonight. A lot of people, it's backed up. We just talked to Kelly, the traffic girl. 590, 490, backed up.
To Buffalo.
So the game will be delayed about 2 minutes tonight, so you can get here on time. It's going to be a great game. I'm calling it a must-win game, Joe. Montreal.
That's right. They're pulling away, Sam.
They're pulling away. They're playing tonight. We'll find out what happens. Hopefully, their broadcast a little later. Tonight, Fox Sports World, the game at 10 o'clock, Seattle and Portland. So we get to watch that. I'm hoping for a draw there that'll help us in the standings. But Montreal, you saw it the other night. You talked about the All-Star game, Joey.
Yes.
Nick DeSantis, Coach Callaway, didn't even look at each other.
I saw that.
You felt the tension.
I thought they were going to come to blows at one point.
I mean, it seemed like Coach Callaway was trying to say something to him, and he kind of didn't even look at him. Like, these are our enemies, arch rivals. So, and Toronto's kind of like Montreal's farm team. So we got to bury Toronto tonight, teach them a lesson, and then go on to the next weekend. I mean, tomorrow night, Sheffield Wednesday, but next Friday night, huge game against the Seattle Sounders. I'm out, Joey.
Soccer Sam, as usual, great tidbits here on the pregame show. We'll hook up on the postgame show.
I can't wait.
All right, Soccer Sam joining us up here in the press box tonight. Again, preparing you for the Rhinos and the Toronto Lynx. Don Stevens will have the call of the game at 7:35. I'll join him for color commentary action. And you're listening to the Rhinos pregame show, sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream on the Rhinos Broadcast Network.
Hi, Soccer Sam here for Salvatore's Pizzeria, the family from Rochester, New York, and proud of it. Salvatore's has been supplying schools and nonprofit groups with all their pizza needs since 1978. Salvatore's Pizza Fundraisers. Your group can sell and make pizzas, or Salvatore's Pasta Sauce and hot pizza slices. Salvatore's will deliver hot pizza slices to your event, pre-cut and ready to sell. Call 234-5555 or check out salvatores.com. 234-5555.
Just like the Rhinos at Connolly Printing, they strive for excellence. They've been serving Rochester for over 100 years, and their goal is meeting today's sophisticated printing demands head-on. Connolly Printing's technology in computer graphics, pressroom, and bindery equipment, as well as their employees' expertise, will guarantee you're a loyal, satisfied customer well into the future. Turning your printing nightmares into creative dreams. Connolly Printing. 426-4150.
Yes, it's perfect. The blue citrus flavor. Outstanding. I can taste the power. I've created an energy drink which actually tastes good.
Hey, Doc, they've already got a great-tasting energy drink. It's called Power Trip. Its great blue citrus taste and energy boost keeps you moving morning, day, and night. Visit them on the web at powertripbev.com or grab yours at a store near you. Power Trip Extreme Energy Drink. Powerful, great taste.
Westmont Apartments, proud sponsor of the Rochester Raging Rhinos, now has spacious studio, 1- and 2-bedroom apartments available. Located in Gates, they're just 15 minutes from Brockport and convenient to Walmart, Grease Ridge, and Marketplace malls. Rents start at $425 to $695 and include commodities and 24-hour maintenance. Call 426-8135 for an appointment today.
Call Westmont Apartments now at 426-8135. 426-8135.
The Rochester Raging Rhinos are on Fickle 93.3 FM.
Welcome back to the Rhinos pregame show, sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream. Joe Giuliano getting you ready tonight for the Toronto Lynx and the Rochester Raging Rhinos. If you don't have your tickets yet, plenty of tickets remain. It's a beautiful night for soccer here at Paytech Park. Hopefully the Rhinos can pick up the 3 points and keep pace with that tough Montreal Impact team. A lot of events coming up here at Paytech Park. Taking a look at the schedule, the Rhinos again tomorrow night hosting Sheffield Wednesday in a friendly match. Kickoff is at 7:35. If you're a Rhinos season ticket holder, you can use Wild Card A. Again, Wild Card A for tomorrow night against Sheffield Wednesday. Looking forward to August 2nd, the Rhinos host the New England Revolution from Major League Soccer, 7:30 kickoff, and that's the 4th round of the 2006 U.S. Open Cup. And for that match, Rhinos season ticket holders can use Wild Card C. For more information, call the Rhinos ticket office at 454-5425. And some big news last week released here out of Rochester. The U.S. Women's National Soccer Team will face Mexico at 8 p.m. on Wednesday, September 13th, right here at Paytech Park. The match will be broadcast live in primetime on ESPN2. And as usual, give the Rhinos office a call if you have any questions, 454-5425. It's the U.S. Women's National Team taking on Mexico again on Wednesday, September the 13th, right here at Paytech Park. So that's a look at some of the action and activities coming up here at Paytech Park in July and August and also September. So call the Rhinos office again at 454-5425 for more information and details on those upcoming matches. When we come back to the Rhinos pregame show, we'll take a look at the schedule in the USL First Division tonight, and we'll travel around the world of soccer and see who's going where as what's happening in that big transfer window in the European soccer market. You're listening to the Rhinos pregame show on the Rhinos Broadcast Network.
What's that sound? That's your best mechanic scrubbing a stain out of his uniform. You may not think that sound is important, but even if he is a genius at slip differentials, he still washes lights with darks, which could mean unimpressed customers. Sounds like you need Cintas. Call 1-800-CINTAS-1 for everything you need to make a lasting impression on your customers. Like first aid supplies, floor mats, restroom supplies, and of course uniforms, including pickup, cleaning, and delivery. Call 1-800-CINTAS-1 today.
The Rhinos host the Toronto Lynx on Friday, July 21st at 7:35. The game is brought to you by Nothnagel. Then on Saturday, July 22nd, 7:35, Sheffield Wednesday from the English Championship League will come ashore to challenge the Rhinos. For all the latest information, log on to rhinosoccer.com. For tickets, go to the Paytech Park box office, Ticketmaster.com, or call 232-1900. That's 232-1900. Soccertown, USA. Your team, your turf.
Ever wondered why Pellegrino's turkey subs and wraps taste so fresh and delicious? Because we use the best turkey we can buy with 0 grams of saturated fat and no extra water or gluten. No wonder we sell so many turkey subs and wraps at Pellegrino's. It's the just off the bird taste and texture. Every single Pellegrino sub is made to order on a fresh baked roll with the freshest veggies and premium cold cuts. Taste the Pellegrino's difference today.
Pellegrino's.
Make a game night this season into a game weekend with the Clarion Riverside Hotel, right in the heart of downtown Rochester near Paytech Park, Frontier Field, Blue Cross Arena, restaurant, shopping, and more. And now the Clarion Riverside Hotel is offering sports fans a special $69 spectator rate. Call the sales office at 585-546-6400 for details. The Clarion Riverside Hotel, 120 Main Street, downtown, right on the banks of the Genesee River, and just a free kick away from Paytech Park.
And now back to the Rhinos on Fickle 93.3 FM.
Welcome back to the final segment of the Rhinos pregame show, sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream. Joe Giuliano taking you up to kickoff, then Don Stevens takes over with the call of the game tonight. The Rhinos taking on the Toronto Lynx here from Paytech Park. Two other games in the USL First Division tonight. Montreal at Minnesota, 8:05 kickoff, and then 11 p.m. kickoff. Seattle is at Portland. That is the Fox Soccer Channel game of the week. You can check that out on Fox Soccer Channel this evening. Looking at the First Division standings in the USL, Montreal, 15 games played. They top the table with 32 points. Vancouver has played 20 games. They've got 29 points. And the Rhinos, all alone in third place, 27 points after 15 games played. Minnesota and Toronto both at the bottom of the barrel with 11 points after 15 games played. Triangle Professional Soccer announced the name of the new USL 1 expansion team located in Cary, North Carolina. They'll be called the Carolina Railhawks FC. The team's colors will be blue, orange, and gray. The name was chosen from over 1,000 entries submitted by local fans. And Chris Economides, who's running the venture down in Cary, North Carolina, has hopes to have a coach named by mid to late September. John Harkes again in the mix, but my money is on Scotty Schweitzer, who's a resident of the Triangle area and also now an assistant coach with the Raleigh Elite of the PDL. Also sticking in Cary, North Carolina, the USL All-Stars played to a scoreless draw with Sheffield Wednesday in the All-Star game on Wednesday. Over 5,000 fans at the SAS Soccer Park. Moving to Major League Soccer, the Kansas City Wizards fired Bob Gansler, the longest tenured coach in Major League Soccer. Webster's Brian Bliss becomes the interim coach on Wednesday. Bliss was named to that position. The Wizards have lost 6 straight games. Brian Bliss takes charge tomorrow night in his first game against the New York Red Bulls. And speaking of the Red Bulls, Bruce Arena was introduced, check this out, folks, as the 10th coach in the 11th year history of the New York Red Bulls MetroStars organization. So I think that's a good move and finally in the right direction for Major League Soccer and especially the soccer team in New York. Real Madrid are targeting another 3 signings following the arrival of Juventus pair Fabio Cannavaro and Emerson. It's reported they will pay about 20 million euros for Emerson and Cannavaro. Other players they're interested in signing are Ruud van Nistelrooy. They were also looking at Gianluca Zambrotta, but he's been signed by Barcelona along with Lilian Thuram. Now, Juventus, who these players were originally playing for, was demoted to the Serie B, and they face a 30-point penalty to start the season. And Carlos Alberto Pereira has quit as coach of Brazil after the team was eliminated in the quarterfinals of the World Cup. Pereira said he wanted to rest and spend some time with his family. Pereira also coached Brazil to their 4th World Cup title in 1994. This year he had a roster loaded with all-stars. They just couldn't make it over the hump this year in World Cup 2006. And tomorrow is the Dennis Bergkamp testimonial at Arsenal's new Emirates Stadium. 54,000 fans expected for the Bergkamp farewell against Ajax. And folks, if you think Paytech Park was an expensive stadium, here's the price tag on the new Emirates Stadium replacing Highbury for Arsenal. Approximately $724 million for the Super Stadium for Arsenal. And that's going to be a wonderful venue to watch soccer from, just as Paytech Park is as well. So that's been a look at the world of soccer. You've been listening to the Rhinos pregame show. I'll join Don Stevens for the call tonight between the Rochester Raging Rhinos and the Toronto Lynx. This has been the Rhinos pregame show, sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream on the Rhinos Broadcast Network.
Do you experience recurrent neck, back, or headache pain? Have you been limited in your activities by sciatic pain, disc herniation, tendinitis, or muscular discomfort? Call Dr. Donald Dudley at Health Source Chiropractic for consultation and treatment. Dr. Donald Dudley is the team chiropractor for the Rochester Rhinos. For more information and appointments, please call.
And good evening to you. Welcome to Paytech Park tonight. The Rhinos hosting the Toronto Lynx, and it should be a dandy as these two teams go at it for the second meeting of the year. The first time around was in Toronto back in mid-May, in which the Rhinos came away with a 2-0 victory. But since Toronto, after losing their first 6 straight and then going winless in their first 11 games, they've won 3 of the last 4. So certainly Toronto now a team to be reckoned with, and the Rhinos wanting to get a rolling here again, or continue to roll along as Montreal is starting to gain a little ground on everybody. The Montreal Impact now 5 points ahead of the Rhinos, and the Vancouver Whitecaps only a couple of points ahead. But Rochester with a lot of games in hand on Vancouver, however, even number of games with Montreal. This is a very important contest tonight. Even though Toronto's in the bottom of the table, it is a team that loves to spoil the fortunes of the other teams, as we've seen over the years. We'll see if the Rhinos can't avoid that little bump in the road here tonight. The coach's comments brought to you by Zweigel's, the official hot dog at Paytech Park. And talking with Coach Laurie Calloway, the team scoring a lot of goals over the last few games. In fact, was it 13 goals in the last 4 games? That does include the Open Cup game. But I asked him if that's by design or it's something that's just happening.
Oh, it's just happening. I think we're finally finding a way to put a finishing touch to some of the chances that we make. We've always made chances. We just didn't do well in some of the games early in the season, or certainly during the tying period, where we were tying all those games where we could have won games with better finishing. And I think the reserve games have helped as well. In the last 2 reserve games, we've won 11-1 and 11-0 and 9-1. So some of these guys are playing in those games for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, getting a scoring touch by playing against the local senior men's league teams. So a lot of things are happening to bring it together. If you count the last 2, the cup game, the league game, and the 2 reserve games, we've scored 30 goals in the last in like 10 days. So that's always good for confidence for strikers, obviously. And key is that we're giving some goals up as well. And when you play attacking soccer, that's likely to happen. What we've talked about today with the team is improving our transition so that we can try and maybe get a good result, like a 3-0 without having people sitting on the edge of their seats for the last 30 minutes, which seems to be the way we're playing. But you know, it's a double-edged sword, I suppose. We've played entertaining soccer. It's been entertaining for the fans, but at the same time, I want us to play attacking soccer, but I don't want it to get us close in terms of the scoreline.
Now, that last game, the goal was scored basically with a couple of seconds left. How huge was that? I mean, if you hadn't scored that goal, you would end up in a tie and had given up the lead. But scoring and winning in the last second, that really just was huge, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think based on the balance of the play in the second half, we obviously deserved to win the game, even though we almost threw it away in a crazy 45 seconds. We could have done better when we made the substitution there and organised a little quicker. Nothing we could do about the penalty, because it wasn't a penalty. It was outside the box. It wasn't even. There was no contact. So as players and coaches, we can't do anything about that. But the mad minute that led to them getting back to 3-3 and then us going ahead again 4-3 caused some excitement at the end of the game, which I suppose as the marketing people said to me, well, let's try and do that every week. And you could choreograph it that way, knowing that you're going to win, and you're playing a computer game. That's the way you'd want it to be. But for us coaches and players, obviously, we want to be more decisive and have a conclusive scoreline 5-10 minutes from the end that we can manage the time and win comfortably. And so I'm sure there'll be a few more games like that this year, but the objective today is to win comfortably.
All right, now your roster, what do you have as far as injuries and so on?
Well, obviously Bolanos and De Silva out for the season, probably. Bolanos, De Silva even now looks like he's not going to play. Martinez, who's been a little gimpy over the last month, he seems to be fully healthy. Steele, who was out for the last 10 days, a week with the ankle, is not quite ready to go. He'll play tomorrow against Sheffield Wednesday. Perry is having problems with his Achilles again. Might be able to get something out of him tomorrow, but we're not suiting him. Other than that, Delicate, who's been nursing a bit of a hamstring or more of a adductor injury is fine now. He's 100%. And other than knocks and bumps and bruises and the typical stuff, everybody's pretty good other than those guys.
Now, you do have a suspension, right?
Yeah, John Ball's out for his 6th yellow card and his 5th yellow card, I guess it was. But he picked up another one which was unjust against Miami. We've talked to the league about that. I doubt whether they do anything about it. They never do. So, I mean, he was deemed to have thrown an elbow, which he didn't. He just lifted himself off the ground after having been, swung at by Mateo in that last game. So, unfortunately, he'll be out. He'll play a full game tomorrow, however, which is good, because we'll have obviously to play a lot of the younger players tomorrow, so to have John Ball's experience in there be very, very good for the game tomorrow against Sheffield Wednesday.
All right, with Ball and a couple other players out, then has anything changed as far as your procedures, your attacking procedure here?
We're pretty much going with the team that for 30 minutes tortured Miami with the 3-5-2 system from the 46th to the 74th minute. I mean, we were unbelievable. Scored 3 goals in 9 minutes, starting in the 51st minute, and could have scored more. So we've got to make a change for Ball, obviously. So Kramer comes in there. The rest of the midfield that finished the game, Lyons, that went in that scoring spree, Lyons, Howes, T-Bone, and Menyonger, with Kramer on the right is the midfield. In the back, we're going with 3, Sanfilippo, Burtz, and Ricky Lewis, and then up front, Delicate and Adosia.
Toronto had struggled at the start of the year, but they've won 3 of the last 4. Have you heard what's turned it around for them here?
A combination of things. I think the 3 have been at home, and that field is very difficult to play on for anybody, even them, because it's like a bowling alley. Every one of those wins has come against tired teams. The last one being Atlanta, who literally played in Atlanta on Saturday night and had to play at 6 o'clock in Toronto the next day. So a plane trip the day of the game. Willie went to it, saw it. He said it was an abysmal game. Atlanta were absolutely dead on their feet. Toronto got the result, 1-0. So I think those results have been on sort of unrealistic circumstances. They haven't picked them up against a fresh team.
That's Coach Laurie Calloway, the coach of the Raging Rhinos, as tonight the Rhinos take on the Toronto Lynx. And for Rochester, this is the 16th match of the season. It's also the 16th for the Toronto Lynx. Again, the second meeting of the year between the two, as they did play one time previous, and that was in Toronto. So we'll be getting underway very shortly here tonight at Paytech Park. Gorgeous night for soccer. Hope you're on your way, if you aren't here yet, to watch this one between the Rhinos and the Toronto Lynx. And this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Park tonight as the Rhinos host the Toronto Lynx. I'm Don Stevens alongside Joe Giuliano. Certainly pleased to have you folks along with us here this evening as the referees and the captains meet out at center field to discuss who's going to kick which way, who's going to take the kick off, and so on and so forth. Will be getting underway very shortly. Let's take a look at the starting lineups tonight. Starting lineups brought to you by Nothnagels, Rochester's full-service realtor. And for the visitors, starting out in goal, former Rhino, Theo Zegar. Zegar coming into this one with a 3-6-1 record, a 1.39 goals against average. Zegar in goal for the Rhinos. And on the defensive role, we'll see Rick Titus, Andres Arango, Marco Berenikovic, and Cam Medwin. And then through the midfield, Kevin Jeffrey, remember him from Richmond, Robbie Arestademo, Jamie Dodds, and Gordon Chin. Also, it looks like they're going with a 4-5-1. Chris Williams also listed as a midfielder. And then up front, Damian Pottinger and that's the starting lineup for the visiting. We have a massive change of uniforms here on the part of the Rhinos.
Oh,
looks like they brought out the wrong colors or something. They're switching now to white shorts from black shorts. So that maybe was the discussion between the coach and the trainer down on the field a little bit ago about what uniform they were wearing. All right. So that's the starters. First of all, for the Toronto Lynx, for the Rhinos coming in is Scott Ballo. He has gotten the distance thus far, a 7-2-6 record and a 0.80 goals against average. The defensive role will include Frankie Sanfilippo, Kenny Birch, Ricky Lewis, Tenwa Bonsu listed as a defender. However, I think he'll be more in a midfield position. The other midfielders, Danny Kramer, Greg Howes, and Aaron Lyons, and Johnny Menyonger, and I think he'll be pushed forward a little bit. And then up front, we'll see Connolly Adosian and Matthew Delicott. So there's your starters tonight for the Rhinos and the visiting Toronto Lynx. Hello.
Don, well, you going to throw it to me or just sit there?
Throw it to you. What do you want me to throw?
I'm just kidding. The Rhinos need...
Once again, you couldn't think of anything to say.
No,
right?
I'm ready to go. I'm waiting for you to just... usually you ended on a good note.
I looked at you.
I wasn't looking at you. This is radio.
But I looked at you.
But I'm looking down at my notes. Oh. The Rhinos need a very controlled, dominating victory. The Cardiac Kids, as Coach Callaway and Coach Fitzpatrick said, they can't handle many more of those victories. The fans love it, but they've got to get a precise, controlled victory where they control the tempo of the game, and it's going to start in the midfield with Menyonger and House. We'll see what kind of game those guys have tonight.
Well, the Rhinos wearing the black and white striped jerseys and now wearing white shorts and black socks, and the visiting Toronto Lynx, a yellow uniform with black socks, and the Rhinos will be shooting the net to our right. They've moved Theo Zagar with the with the sun in his eyes down to our right. And so the Rhinos attacking the net to our right. Scott Ballo in goal to our left. And as we're about to get underway here tonight at Paytech Park, center ref Mark Geiger says, here we go, as he blows the whistle, and we're underway tonight here at Paytech. As the ball controlled by the Lynx, Chin in the center circle will drop it back to his defensive row. That's Rick Titus, the big guy in the middle, with the right foot, delivers through midfield. Locked down by Jeffrey. That's popped up in the air, comes out of the near wing, pushed forward by Dodge, gives it back. Jeffrey working down to the 20, turns it to the outside for Williams. At the near end of the 6, sliding in, and it was Howes blocking the avenue, and the ball played away out top. It's Dowd still, will draw it out top, and a shot from there. That's Bet out over the end line on the shot taken by Bedanakovic. So the first opportunity on the night belonging to the Toronto Lynx.
A big early attack there, and it's a little miscommunication. Kramer, who has stepped in for John Ball, he and Sanfilippo, it's going to take a little bit of time for them to be on the same page there. Kramer left Williams, and I remember Chris Williams when he played with Montreal. He has got lightning speed down the flank, so Danny Kramer is going to have his hands full. He's going to have to keep his eyes open as to where Williams is on the field.
Kevin Jeffrey, of course, we've seen in the last couple of years in Richmond. Man, does he look different. Got a haircut.
He's the kind of guy who shows up, sometimes doesn't show up, but against the Rhinos always loves to have his best performance. We'll see what happens tonight.
And out to midfield underneath it is Jeffrey. That's knocked away by Kramer and Howes, and will chip it up the right side, but Adosian is behind, and that's the first offside of the match. Just getting underway. We're now in the second minute and no score. There at Paytech Park. Again, a gorgeous evening. Little bit of a breeze, but I don't know how much there is down on the field. Where we sit up on top of the lower deck. There's a bit of a breeze. Actually, this is kind of a wind tunnel situation here.
This is very refreshing. It's a perfect night for soccer.
Long service down the left wing side, headed away out of bounds by Sanfilippo, and a throw in on the near wing for the Lynx. Williams will step up for the throw-in 35 yards out in Rochester territory. Throw-in to Aristodemo, back to the outside on the near wing for Williams. Slide tackle on the ball by Adosian, knocked it away. Kramer hauls down. Williams gets away with that one, and a feed to the center circle. Chipped up the right side by Delicott. Kramer trying to get underneath him, but he's pushed off the ball and rolls down inside the 18 to Zagar.
The Rhinos definitely playing with 3 in the back, a 5 midfield formation. What happens is if the ball is on the near side, Lyons goes to the far side to shift over. Same thing with Kramer.
Zagar plays it away, but it's blocked by Delicott off of the far wing. Medwin will let it roll out. It'll be a throw-in across the way for the Lynx from around their own 35. And the throw into the middle. As it's lost, taken away by Delicott, then sliding in to knock it away. But Howes again with it, chips it forward. Adosian trying to sneak through. Delicott with the right foot. As Aristodemo back to cover up, picks it off his 10-yard line and brings it away. Aristodemo turning it up the left wing side. He'll tip it across midfield, but Jeffrey lost control of it. Again, it bounces loose and picked up by the Rhinos. Howes, midfield line. Sanfilippo, center circle for Bonsu. Drawing it forward, looking to slot it through. He does. However, Bedanakovic back to tip it down inside to his keeper. Zagar has it there. Delicott pressuring. Zagar a little quicker this time around. Through midfield, but stepping up, Birch heads it across midfield, and he's taken down on a tackle and comes up grabbing his left leg as Sanfilippo will head it away and out of bounds. Birch getting tangled up with, was it Pottinger? And he got his leg tied up and might have gone down with it hyperextended.
Yeah, he just landed awkward on that left leg. Looks like it's his left calf. I think it might just be a cramp where he's trying to release the cramp now, grabbing his toes. I think he just landed awkward and it cramped up and it just came crashing down hard.
Sponsors of tonight's broadcast include the Messenger Post. Stay posted. Call 442-POST for subscription information. By Power Trip. Taste the power. By Marina Dodge at 943 Ridge Road in Webster. And also brought to you in part by Democrat and Chronicle. Catch all of tonight's Rhinos game highlights in tomorrow's DNC. So Birch is up and all right.
He's a tough kid. He's not gonna sit down any longer than he has to. You didn't even have to see the trainer. That's one thing. The Rhino team, they're not going to milk the injuries. They're going to get up. They're going to suffer and work hard for their team. And Bert's a perfect example of that.
Battle throws it up the near side. Sanfilippo approaching midfield, watched by Jeffrey. Turns it off toward the middle for Greg Howe, spinning back for the ball, and he'll lay it out on the left wing side where Lewis will take it. Clears to the left wing, the far touchline for Lines, draws it across midfield, a pass toward the middle for Nadosian, trying to sneak a return pass to the outside, but that's deflected away and a foul is called. So it'll be a free kick for the Rhinos, 45 yards out off the left wing side. Center ref is Mark Geiger, his assistants Kevin Barcy and Steve Montanino, and then the fourth official is Robert Swaysgood.
With this 5 formation midfield, Bonsu and House are like the trap. They win everything. They feed it up to Menyonger, who then goes forward to the guys up top.
House lets it roll out on the near side. Dropped by Kramer back across midfield. Sanfilippo then into Toronto territory, which is to our right here in the first half. Tipped off Connolly Adosian to Delicott. Chips it up the right side. Kramer won't get to it. Out over the end line.
Nice
so
combination.
It'll be a goal kick.
Good combination there from Adosian and Delicott. When Delicott went back into the traffic, Lyons was playing on that far side. Made a nice run, found himself some space of Delicott, and changed the run of play there. I think Lyons was wide open with a touch.
So the ball placed at his 6 by Zagar. Keeper for the Toronto Lynx. Plays it out through midfield. Up they go. Kramer heads it high in the air. Delicott in underneath it. Nods it forward, however, taken by Titus of the Lynx, and he'll play it downfield. That's in behind, but blocked away by Sanfilippo. Chasing after it, Aristanimo. Up the right side of the 18, turns into the middle. There's a rolling ball in, scooped up off his line by Vallo. On the shot, which was taken by Dodge, and he's done most of the damage for Toronto this season.
Yeah, he's been the leader for the team with 3 goals and 2 assists, but the line in the back, the 3 defenders, got flat there. Toronto find the space behind them.
Long delivery down service by downfield by Howes. Headed aside to Adosian to Kramer. Ball is touched with a hand by Williams. Handball, so a restart for the Rhinos. 30 yards out off the near side.
Williams saying no intent to play it with his hand, but it definitely came off of him, preventing Kramer from going forward into the attack.
Howes placing the ball. Lyons also moving over. Last game it was Aaron Lyons who set up a couple of goals on his restarts.
And from this side, he's a left-sided player. He comes over with the left foot.
Howes step over Lyons, rolls it in the middle. Menyonger turns it to the outside. Howes on the right wing. He'll cross it down along the 60 front. Hit ball in one bouncer is grabbed by Zagar. The header coming from Bonsu.
Nice execution. I watched the Rhinos train this morning, and they were working on their set pieces we saw. It paid off there. Almost paid off there.
Stepping in to intercept Sanfilippo for the Rhinos. Heads it across midfield. Headed aside by Titus for Arango. He'll go to the outside on the far wing. That's played through midfield into Rhino territory. Stepping back, Jeffrey got a hand on it. Another handball, so this time the Rhinos' restart will be from their own 35 on the far side of the field. We're in the 7th minute here at Paytech and no score.
And the Lynx are trying to get adjusted to how the ball bounces off the turf. Williams and Jeffrey, both of them, a little surprised that it came up so quick off of the thick surface.
So on the restart, Vallo moving all the way out to take the kick. Actually, call it about 40 yards out off the left wing.
That's pretty far for a keeper to come out for a free kick. A lot of exposed goal when he's out this far and this wide.
All right, Vallo with the right foot will then hammer it away downfield. Well, they fighted it over everybody, so unless Zagar takes the kick at goal, he's safe.
Magic.
Volley through midfield. Sanfilippo heads it in the air. Howes is underneath it. However, the whistle to stop play. What's that call?
Offsides. They said Williams was offsides, then came back into an onside position. Tight call. Surprised he even made that call.
All right, I thought the referee was waving away mosquitoes or something.
Yeah, he blew the whistle by mistake. The possession really should have been the Rhinos and just continue with the flow.
Kenny Birch from his 40 A little bit to the right of center. Sends it through midfield. That's headed up in the air. Adosian and Titus battle. Knotted for Delicott. Return pass. Adosian moving in, but it's kicked aside. Menyonger in underneath it, but blocked off of him by Dodge. Menyonger turns back and takes the ball away. Out to the 35. Howes will switch it to the left wing side. Lines picks it up on the first hop. Draws it ahead as he's watched by Midwin on the outside. On the far touchline, working toward the corner. Now turns back out top. He'll roll it out to around the 30. On the far side of the field, Bonsu fires it down to the 18, but that's booted away and downfield. So the Rhinos turning back for the ball. In underneath it, Sanfilippo. With the right foot, puts it through midfield. Williams stepping in, Kramer coming back, and Kramer sent flying, but play goes on. Off in the near wing, Howes after it, and is blocked away off his foot and out by Dodge. Throw in for the Rhinos at midfield on the near side.
Well, surprised to see the Rhinos go with three in the back. Normally, when there's one opposing forward, they'll play three in the back, but Toronto's got two guys up top, and the Rhinos still going with the three back.
Throwing by Sanfilippo. Delicott tried to flick out, but that's knocked aside and taken back by Toronto. Slide on the ball, tackled by Howes, blocked it away, but out of bounds. So Williams will take the throw in. He'll leave it there, actually, for Bednikovic. Takes the throw in across midfield for Dodge, checking back on the ball on the near side once again. Bednikovic up the left wing. That's blocked away by the Rhinos and take it back. Howes will send it off on the far side of the field at his own 35. Lyons will drop it back for Titus and a pass for Titus. That's the wrong team. Lewis out on the near side. It's Sanfilippo with the right foot bringing it forward. Sends it through midfield. Kramer heads it toward the middle for Delicott. Gets a foot on it, knocks it down, plays it up the right side, and Kramer chasing into the end line. Will he get there in time? No, he does not. Couldn't reach it for the cross. So the ball out of bounds. Goal kick for the Toronto Lynx. Other sponsors of these broadcasts tonight include the Personal Health Approach, Rochester's Upscale Health Club, 3450 Winton Place. Call 232-8888. By Moliere Chevrolet, West Main Street in Honeyway Falls, or online at Moliere.com. And also brought to you by Perry's Ice Cream. Life's a bowl of Perry's.
Kramer's doing a good job finding himself some space. That time, Delicott, a little too much pace on the service and also a little too wide, a little more central would have been perfect.
On the near wing, Lynx will jam it up the left wing side into Rhino territory, checking back on the ball. Sanfilippo plays it to the end line, where it's taken by the keeper, Vallow. Jeffrey moving in. Vallow looking, rolls it ahead. Birch turns it to the outside, and Sanfilippo gets there in time to push it ahead for Howes. From his 35, moves up the near wing, and a pass ahead. Delicott, one touch to the outside for Kramer. Cross midfield, Kramer slows it up. Waiting for help to catch up, now switches through into the center circle for Bonsu. Turns to the left wing side, chased by Arestadebo. It's Bonsu, drawing it to the outside and Lines after it. Down to the 10, here's a cross, down on the 6 in front. Let's knock down, skip through out the near 6, grab by Zagar.
I tell you, Aaron Lyons, he is really finding himself in a nice position, and he looks much more comfortable on the ball. Great little touch and great vision to serve it inside the box, looking for Adosian and Delicott.
Out through midfield, where it's taken by Howes. Again, chips it downfield. A couple of bounces to the 18, and the rolling ball is picked up by Theo Zagar.
Zagar, at times, he's a brilliant keeper. At times, he makes you think, what did he just do? We'll see how he shows up tonight.
It's times like he's a little
his focus is
under-cautious, if you will. A little lackadaisical or something.
Yeah, that's where the big mistakes come in.
Plays it to... there's a word. I know there's a word there. I can't think of what it is right now. But anyway, Lyons drawing it back in his own zone. Played ahead by Sanfilippo up the left wing side. No, that was Birch out toward midfield. Menyonger takes it, but a foul is called and a restart for Toronto. Just across midfield into Rhino territory. No score. 12th minute here at Paytech. Service from the Lynx. Low line dive kick into the 18, which is headed away. Bonsu for Adosian turns it to the outside. Menyonger drops it back for Lines. Off the left wing side, drawing it ahead across the midfield lines to the outside from Menyonger. Return pass to Lines, tips it forward. Lines down to the 25, to 20, inside the 18, far into the 10. Now he gets tied up, and as he's challenged by Titus on the end line, tripped up and taken down. No foul call, play goes on. Ball still along the end line, finally is out. It's out, a corner kick for the Rhinos.
That's the Aaron Lines that Coach Callaway saw earlier on to bring him in here to Rochester from Portland. Just a quick little touch, gets there under the defender. He's got a ton of confidence on the ball, taking players on. He's creating havoc on that left flank.
Menyonger, and it looks like Lines to take the piece. That's dropped, and Menyonger serves it up down inside, and Zagar up in the air, and his 6 comes down with the ball.
No, I never understood that quick little restart in the corner there. The end result is a cross. You may as well get another body into the box. instead of having that 2-yard touch. It just, as a coach, as a player, I've never understood it.
You're not having to hurry your service. And
I've never understood the reasoning behind that.
Well, isn't it supposedly it moves the ball away from the end line, gives you a better look at goal?
Are you looking at 2 yards?
I agree with you.
I think it's kind of a waste. Get that body in the box instead of that simple touch.
But the other thing is, it sets up other possibilities.
True.
Right away across midfield, nothing through by Menyonger. Delicott helping out Menyonger at the midfield line as he's bumped from behind by Chin. Ball taken Jeffrey, and he's run over by Howes. Foul is called on the Rhinos.
That's a good point, getting back to that corner kick thing. It's a setup for another corner kick. Hopefully Toronto will bite on that. Good call. Good point there.
I've been around a couple of years now.
I guess so. Watch the next goal, corner
maybe
kick
3.
Play. More than that. That's good insight there. You're taking my job away.
45 yards out off the left wing side. Bedernikovic with the right foot rolls it off into the middle, where it's taken by Arango. He takes a look and now chips it down inside the 18. That is over Titus coming down to the end line, but the whistle to stop play offside. His flag is in the air, offside against the Lynx. No score, 15th minute now.
A few offsides here in Toronto. It's just not players paying attention to what's going on. Kevin Jeffrey earlier was upset that Theo Zagar didn't distribute the ball a lot quicker. Jeffrey's got to keep his composure. He's a quality player. If he gets off his mental game, that's a huge benefit for the Rhinos.
Dallo hammers it out through midfield. As Delicott couldn't quite reach him, and Younger able to nod it to the outside of the near wing for Kramer. Brings it down to the 20. Watched by Titus. Turns to his left to get through. Drops it out. And Howes again chips it up the right wing deep to the corner for Kramer. Near the end line. Here's a low cross along the 6th, but that's picked off. And in turn lost. As Bedernikovic spins back, plays it out over the end line. Well, the Rhinos almost came up with it off a miss hit from Bedernikovic.
Yeah, Bedernikovic there just not sure with the ball at his feet what to do. And Delicott, he's got 6 goals this year. He's the master inside of that 6. Almost makes him pay the price.
Corner kick off the right wing side. Lyons will take the kick. A left-footed kicker, so in swinger. Sets the ball. And ready to serve. There it comes. Low into the box. Skips along the end line. Booted high in the air by Williams on the near side. Lyons in underneath it. Settled it off the toe. As he tips it ahead for Howes, has it 35 yards out. A pass ahead for Lyons. Return pass to Howes. Up the right side. Plays it along the 20. Tipped by Adosian. Tried to slot it through, or by Bonsu, rather. And it's knocked away and out top again. With the Lyons to Howes. Goes long to the left wing side. In underneath it, Birch is in deep. But he gets tied up and the ball brought away. And here comes Toronto. Dodge to the outside. Aristodemo off the left wing. The lead pass. Williams flying up the left wing side. Draws it down to the Rochester 25. Near end of the 18. Turns to his right as he sneaks the ball through along the 18. Trying to get a shot away. Drops it for Chin, and that's picked off and carried away by Sanfilippo.
End to end. Now a counterattack by the Rhinos. Williams tried to come forward. Now it's the Rhinos' chance.
Give it go ahead for Sanfilippo up the left wing side. And out of his box is Zagar with the right foot. Will hammer a high floater through midfield.
I tell you, Zagar and his defense there, a little slow, both responding to the ball. That could be a factor here tonight.
Cross midfield. Here's Menyonger on the attack. Sneaks a pass through. Still in deep is Sanfilippo trying to get back to his position. As Menyonger takes it off toward the center circle. Bonsu leaves it there for Sanfilippo, but he got handcuffed on it. And it's taken away and brought up the right wing side by Jeffrey. Toronto on the attack, rolls it out on the left wing side, and Howes and Aristodemo battle for it. 20 yards out. Aristodemo drops it on top. Jeffrey with a chip shot for the upper right corner, but missed way wide as he bent it wide right over the end line.
What a great through ball for Aristodemo. He's got to take that touch and push it forward. He's got the position on Howes to body him off. I don't know why he stopped it and then tried to cut back around Howes, but a beautiful diagonal ball to Aristodemo, who was wide open. His first touch went the wrong way.
Dallo puts it out on the near side for Kramer at midfield. Into Toronto territory. Lays it to the open right wing side. Running onto the ball. He's Adosian at the end line. He rolls it in front. But Zagar diving to his right comes down on the ball and holds on. So the Rhinos another feet in front. Actually, nobody really there to get a hold of the ball except for Zagar.
Kramer looking for Adosian, and there's a nice little combination there.
Turned up the left wing, and on the attack is Williams for Toronto. Rolls it off in the middle, catching up to the ball is Dodge. His pass to the right side is picked off and carried away by Lyons of the Rhinos. Spins it ahead on the left wing side. Delicott flicks it across midfield, but Arango will settle it off the chest and push it out on the far side for Medwin. With the right foot, sends it downfield, up in the air off of Dodge, and Lewis in underneath it, heads it away. Aristodemo underneath it again for Toronto, drawing it back to the midfield line. Long pass ahead. Stepping in now is Birch to boot it away out the midfield. And Chin for Toronto will feed it off on the near wing for Bednikovic. Off the left wing side, down to the Rochester 35. Trying to play it through, but right into the chest of Kramer and out of bounds on the near side. It'll be a throw-in for Toronto. Lynx throw in. Bednikovic pass ahead of the left wing side for Williams. As he gets tied up by Bonsu, and foul is called on Williams, who was the one that ended up on the deck.
I'm surprised they got the call there, but Big Williams was grabbing on to Bonsu from behind, and they got the call against him. The referee was in a good position to make the call.
19th minute and no score here at Paytech.
Scotty Ballo very quiet so far. He's had a couple chances where they were streaking in at him. Just their touch is not going towards goal, and that's good for Scott Ballo.
Ballo with the right foot. Fights it away downfield. Dedicott up, but not high enough. Then in turn, volleyed out to midfield. Birch will play it aside. Lines on the left wing. A high volley kick downfield, but in underneath it is Titus for Toronto. And there's a head ball right to Howes of the Rhinos. Popped up in the air by Menyonger as he battles Chin for the ball, but Menyonger climbing the back of Chin. And that the two of them, one on each other's shoulders, adds up to 4'1".
I was going to say, not much height there at all. Menyonger, what, 5'6", maybe? If that.
Well, they list Chin at 5'6", but I think Chin actually is maybe an inch taller than Menyonger.
Yeah, looks about 2 inches taller.
Well, I was giving him the benefit of the doubt.
You're in a good mood tonight.
Head in the air as Tademo nods it forward. He's another tall one. That one knocked forward, and Birch on the short hop will volley it out through midfield. Dosian trying to get up, but couldn't. And it's taken by Aristodemo, his own side of midfield. Rolls it out on the near side. Bednikovic up the left wing. Pass ahead into Rhino territory and in underneath it where it's taken by Sanfilippo. The Rhinos have it, but he's pressured by Pottinger. Drops it back, and Birch will then drive it to the outside on the left wing, the far side of the field for Lines. Pass down around his 20. Taken there by Ricky Lewis, the hero of last game. Bonsu turns it to the outside across midfield. Lines for Dedicott. He turns back with the ball, drops it off there for Bonsu. Pass on the left wing. Dedicott through the center circle to Greg Howes. Looking downfield. Now he chips it ahead, and underneath it goes Menyonger in a collision with Bednikovic. Ball pops up in the air, and Bednikovic will bike it out to midfield. That one knocked down by Birch. Again, go to the right wing side for Kramer, checking back on the ball, and able to get to it to keep it in. Throws it off on top, and that's picked off at the midfield line by Jeffrey. Drawing it forward with the right foot, goes to the outside for Aristodemo. Racing after it, far corner. Ricky Lewis on him. Aristodemo in the corner, turning from side to side, rolls it back on top. Here's a high chip down inside the 18. Knocked down by Dodds out the near wing, and chasing back for it goes Jeffrey. Picks it up 30 yards out, off the left wing. He'll send it down inside the 18. That's knocked down. Dodds with a roller. That's off the right hand of Ballo and out over the end line. Big save by Ballo, and the score remains scoreless.
His first work of the night, he comes up huge, but the Rhinos, they're making Toronto look good because of some poor giveaways. Danny Kramer, a terrible giveaway to Kevin Jeffrey about 40 yards from the Rhinos' goal. And then they come back with a quick counter again. The speed of Jeffrey, Chris Williams, and Dodds, those guys, that's all they're looking for is that quick counterattack tonight. And when you give the ball away like that, you're making it very easy for the Lynx.
Corner kick off the right wing side for Toronto. Their first corner of the match. And Aristodemo will step over for the corner kick. Right-footed kicker, in-swinging kick, 22nd minute, no score. Looks for the opening. Aristodemo is set, and here comes the service. A low chip on the short side, headed away and out top. Chin in underneath it from 25 yards out. Turns it back to the outside of the left wing for Aristodemo. Return pass to Chin. Takes a look at net. Now sends it down inside, and Ballo out to come up with it at his 6.
That's a dangerous ball from Chin, swerving. Ballo's got to come off his line.
Dosian as Lines with him. Turns it to the middle for Lines. Now 25 yards out, looking for help. Draws it through in front, trying to sneak through, and does. Moving in, turns to his left, taken down. A penalty kick awarded. Zagar takes down Lines. The PK is awarded.
Aaron Lines, I talked about it earlier. The guy has just got a ton of confidence. Top of the 18, he's going to take somebody on. He does a great job, fights off the defender. Zagar comes sliding out uncontrolled, slamming into Aaron Lines, but a great move. He pushes the ball one way, goes the other. He's 1v1 with Zagar, and Zagar takes him down there.
So Lines is taken down. It looks like it's going to be Johnny Menyonger to take the kick.
Great job getting around Orengo. Orengo was flat-footed, had no chance to catch up to Lines.
So Menyonger places the ball. This is the PK. Here comes Menyonger. Sutter step moving up right foot. Scores!
get the PK call. He gets full credit to win the PK there for the Rhinos. Lines, in my opinion, looks fantastic tonight.
So the Rhinos scoring on the PK. And that's the first penalty kick goal for the Rhinos this season. Right away up the left wing side. Jeffrey feeds it ahead. After it goes Dodge. 1-on-1. It's knocked away by Howes and out. Throw in for the Lynx on the near side. As played back, Bednikovic takes a look toward the middle, drives it off in the middle, and all alone is Chin as he crosses to the outside of the right wing. That's sent down inside and popped up in the air by Pottinger up over top of the crossbar by a foot in behind, and it'll be a goal kick for the Rhinos. Other sponsors on these broadcasts include Connolly Printing, the official printer for the Rhinos. Call 426-4150. By Harrow East Athletic Club on the web at harroweast.com. And by Health Source Chiropractic. Dr. Donald Dudley, the official chiropractor for the Rochester Sports Group. Online at healthsourcechiropractic.com. Your partners in complete health.
And I think it was Arango who got a yellow card there for arguing with the referee on the call. Arango was the one that Lines just totally burned him. One of the oldest tricks in the book to go one way and push it the other. Great move, though.
So the Rhinos are leading 1-0. Yes, it is. Arango, good catch. Right up the right side. Kramer can't reach it, and the ball is out of bounds. So a throw in for Toronto in their own end of the field off the near side.
Yeah, I think Arango just a little upset there that he got taken to school by Aaron Lyons, who did a wonderful job. Just a beautiful fake move there, setting up the whole play. You could sense something was coming with Lyons. Very confident tonight.
Not by Kramer toward the middle. As Zadosian feeds it off in the middle to the 35. Howes will turn it off to the outside for Lyons up the left wing, drawing it forward. Lyons plays it back to Bonsu. His pass ahead again into the 35. Howes off on the left side. Bonsu turns it to the outside. Lyons checking back on the ball and has it. And rolls it to his own side of midfield. Lewis with the left foot. Then long service up the left wing side, but it's picked up by Arango of the Lynx, and he'll play it back inside the 18. Zagar first times it away. High floater as he puts it out of bounds into the stands on the far side. 26th minute of Paycheck and a 1-0 lead for the Rhinos.
We'll see how the Lynx respond to this one here. They've had a decent run of play here in the first half. A couple of chances, just not a good quality finish at the top, but the Rhinos come back with a quick goal.
Dozier will flick it off on the left wing side, but it's knotted away and down inside by Medwin. And it's picked up on the second hop by Zagar. So Theo with the ball. Lays it out in front of him. Toronto actually leading in shots 5-2 now.
Really only one of those 5 shots troubling Scotty Vallo.
Ball flighted through midfield. Played out of the near wing and pushed forward by Dodge. Trying to sneak a pass through. Williams turns in behind to get away from Sanfilippo. Cross in front. Howes gets Burtz gets the foot on it to tip it away out top. Turning back Dodge. Goes to his left again. He'll tip it in front, but that's headed away. And Howes with it will drop it off for Bonsu. Rolls it ahead for Adosian. Pushed it too far ahead. Couldn't catch up to it. It's in the center circle and recovered by the Lynx. Arango long on the right wing side. After goes Pottinger. In underneath it with Lewis on him. Down to the Rochester 15 on the far side. Has it just inside the touchline. Here's a high cross through the 6 and out the near end of the 18. In underneath it, Kramer with the right foot will drive it up into the stand. So a throw in on the near side for the Lynx at around the Rochester 20. Throw in Chin right back to the outside. Williams pass in the middle for Dodge. Turns it inside the near end of the 18 for Jeffrey. As he's watched 1-on-1 with Burtz, they battle on the near line. Out top for Chin again as the 20 yards out. In the middle, giving it off to Aristodemo. Nice ball control, but no room, no alleyway to sneak it through, and it's all the way back out to midfield for Titus.
Yeah, now that they're going backwards, that's exactly what the Rhinos want. This is harmless possession.
Bednikovic up the left wing side. Goes to the outside again for Williams. Turning it toward the end line. Stops. Watch 1-on-1 by Burtz. Pass along the 18. One touch inside, and that's booted away by Sanfilippo on top. But a slow roller in, scooped up off the line on the shot taken by Medwin. He kind of shanked it off the outside of his right foot.
But that's good defending. The Rhinos really keeping things tight in the back. Toronto had nowhere to go, even at times going back. That kind of possession really absolutely worthless.
Booted away through midfield. In underneath it, Lewis again for the Rhinos. Draws it ahead for Bonsu. Takes the look downfield. Watch. Closely by Dodge, rolls it along the midfield line on the far side lines, back in the middle, Bonsu, one touch off to Lewis, off the left wing, and he'll then fight it through midfield. Headed in the air, coming down to the midfield line. Line settles at the feet, and as he turns to get away from Dodge, plays it toward the middle for Bonsu. Nice little step to the left to get away, and a pass off to Menyonger. Drops it back at midfield, Howes to the outside on the near wing for Kramer. Has it 35 yards out, pass in the middle, Menyonger. One touch on the near wing again for Howes. His chip forward, but unable to reach it as Delicott is knocked away. Push forward to the midfield circle. Arango long up the left wing side, but Jeffrey turned the other way. So the run is negated, and the ball rolls harmlessly off in the near corner.
And Arango's been with the Lynx for a while here. Jeffrey joined the team a couple of weeks ago, so just not on the same page there. There was a lot of space to free Kevin Jeffrey, but Arango and Jeffrey just going in different directions.
Dropped off at midfield, and Bonsu long to the open right wing side, and Kramer running onto the ball. Deep in the corner. When he get there in time, there's cross in front. Looks like he did get there in time. That's knocked down inside the 18 and hammered away by Chin out to midfield. Pottinger in a collision with Lewis. They bump heads, and oh, that hurts. Oh, man, they both go down, holding on to their heads. And Ricky Lewis of the Rhinos grabbed onto the front of his head. Pottinger was grabbing onto the back of his head, but I'll tell you what, Lewis dropped on his stomach. Now he's moving. I didn't see him move there for a while.
Pottinger is up. He's going to be okay with the back of that. The front of the head is really worrisome for the Rhinos. And I'm surprised Dave DePasquale hasn't gotten the call yet.
Well, I'll tell you what, even though he's laying on his stomach, he was seeing stars.
Oh, for sure. That was a nasty mid-air collision.
Well, he's up and all right. He'll be all right. Did see Scott Palguda get up and start to warm up. By the way, brings up an interesting point that Palguda, this is the first game this year that he has not started.
And you know what? Unfortunate for him. He did have a bad couple of games there. Coach Callaway decided not to go with the youngster. I don't like that move, but Coach Callaway goes in his direction.
On ball, flighted down inside the 6, up with it. Vallow brings it down. You know what? Sometimes for young players, they need just a little bit of a break.
You know what? I think it's going to hurt his confidence. I really do. As a young guy, I think if Coach had stuck with him a little more, that would have helped him in the long run. Besides benching him here, I think it's a tough move for a coach either way.
I don't know. I've seen it work both ways.
Exactly. It's a tough move.
Played away downfield. That's why maybe we're up here.
For sure.
Cross midfield. Betanikovic trying to slot it through and does. Dodge after, but Sanfilippo on him. As Dodge bumps Sanfilippo, the ball rolls out over the end line. Sanfilippo tried to tackle it away, but that rolls out over the end line. A corner kick for Toronto.
Frankie still got the energy, even though he played in the All-Star game on Wednesday down in North Carolina, making those long, dashing runs there. And I guess that tank is never empty for Mr. Sanfilippo.
Congratulations to Sanfilippo. Ball, Vallow,
and Coach Callaway.
Who
didn't say a word to Nick DeSantis on the sideline.
Is that right? Well, at least they didn't throw punches, right?
I thought they were going to come close.
All right, here's the low kick inside, way out top to about 25 yards out, but picked off by Bonsu, and the Rhinos bring it away. Bonsu's pass ahead for Adosian, turns it to the center circle. As he moves it across midfield, sneaks by one. Adosian slots it up on the left wing side, but Bonsu couldn't get to it. As that would have been about a 100-yard dash and 2.3 to get to that one.
But Lyons also was wide open there, too. He had good options there, just the ball a little too direct instead of diagonal.
On forward now by Toronto. 32nd minute of Paytech and a 1-0 lead for the Rhinos. Having scored in the PK in the 23rd minute. With it. On forward. Jeffrey pass backheel Pottinger to Jeffrey. No room, however. Turns back, still has it 25 yards out. Now he'll switch to the far side of the 18, and Lyons is there to hit it away and out top. Aristodemo will tip it back across midfield. Chased down by Arango. Toronto leading in shots, 6-2. Pass of the far wing. Into Rhino territory again. Ball flighted down to the 20, hit it down inside, and picked up on the second hop by Vallow. So the Rhino keeper has the ball.
Those kind of balls there, the Rhinos have Sanfilippo Kramer 2v1 against Kevin Jeffrey. There's no lanes to make some diagonal balls, so the Rhinos doing a good job man marking in the midfield, preventing any kind of dangerous balls penetrating through.
Al drives it through midfield. Dedicott with a flick, not much on it, couldn't sneak it through. Toronto takes the ball back out to midfield for Dodge. As he brings it out to the midfield line, turns it off on the near wing to the outside. Betanikovic up the left wing and a pass ahead for Williams. Kramer running in. Williams dropped it back, but that's off the foot of Howes. Pops up in the air and out of play. Throwing on the near side for the Lynx. Long up the open left wing side. Jeffrey after, but Birch is on him one-on-one. Helping out Sanfilippo make that Kramer, and the ball stolen away by Birch. Sanfilippo near into the 18. Watched by Dodge. Turns to the outside. Puts it off the foot of Dodge and out. Throw in for the Rhinos from their own 25 on the near side of the field.
This is very good team defending from the Rhinos. Again, they're closing down the midfield. A lot of 2v1s defensively with Sanfilippo and Kramer against Jeffrey. So these battles, the Rhinos, numbers up, will always win.
Howes drops it back. Sanfilippo. The pass intercepted by Dodge and brings it away. Off the left wing side, Dodge Feed ahead for Jeffrey as he's bumping turns, gets away along the 18, moving in. That's booted by Burt's away. Popped up in the air and brought forward by Menyonger. As he's bumped and pushed off the ball by Chin, the whistle stops, playing a foul is called.
Menyonger needs more touches, though, in the run of play. He did finish the PK. A lot of balls have gone to the flanks. If he's going to be that midfield general, they've got to get him more touches. He's got to set up this attack for the Rhinos. To this point, not so much yet from Johnny Menyonger.
Lyons drops it back. Lewis pass along his 20 in the middle for Burt's. He'll roll it off on the near side. Sanfilippo being watched closely. Pass ahead. Howes with it on the attack for the Rhinos. Turns back with the ball. Dodds all over him, but Howes still has the ball. Now he'll switch off on the left wing side and is brought forward by Ricky Lewis. Long up the left wing side for Lyons along the far touchline. As he is 1v1 with Pottinger. Drops it back for Lewis and a pass in the middle for Bonsu. Looks it over. Bonsu in the center circle for Howes. One touch dropping it off for Burt's. As he spins toward the middle, comes away and a pass on the left side for Lyons. Has it about the 35, turns toward the middle. 1v1 with Medwin to the outside for Menyonger. At the far end of the 18, and Chin gets the foot on it to boot it away, but that's out of bounds on the far side. A throw in for the Rhinos, about 5 yards out, off the left wing side.
I thought we were going to see more of the Aaron Lyons show taking on Medwin 1v1. Decided to go out to Menyonger that time. Good to mix it up. Keep the Toronto defense guessing.
35th minute here at Paytech, and a 1-0 lead for the Rhinos. Throw-in will be taken by... Burt's is out here, isn't he? No, it is Burt's, right?
That's the bomber. Right. We haven't seen his throw in a while here. We'll see what he comes up with.
Off the left wing side, 10 yards out. Here's the high throw-in coming down inside the 6. That's knocked down. Adosian also goes down, but nobody could get a shot away, and the ball played off in the near wing. After Jeffrey checking back on the ball, Sanfilippo tackle on the ball, sends it up the near touchline, and then he wipes out Jeffrey. And as the ball out of bounds, it'll be a throw-in for Toronto from their own 20.
Great tackle, though, by Sanfilippo. Nails the ball then. Solid piece of the man.
Flick by Jeffrey to the midfield line. Checking back on the ball is Pottinger. And he's bumped away, and the ball out. A foul is called, or no, a throw-in on the near side for the Rhinos at midfield. Sanfilippo. Oh, he hit Lewis in the back of the head. He was running away from him. Ball popped up in the air and is taken by Toronto. Up the right side of Restademo. Drawing it down to the 20. As he turns toward the middle, lays it out on the near wing for Jeffrey, catching up. Still 20 yards out. Now with the right foot, takes a shot from right into the midsection of battle, and almost a costly giveaway right there.
Sanfilippo, a couple of poor giveaways, some poor marking at times, but he's got to be cautious on the throw. And Ricky Lewis also probably should be facing the play, but
whatever you do, don't hit Lewis in the head. It's rather tender right now. That's knocked aside by Bodinakovic.
That would have been a bad goal to give up.
Oh, man. I would have made a few highlight films.
Oh, I think so. ESPN, here we go.
It was a nice header ball, you know.
Yeah, but the wrong way.
Yeah. Right away. Turning back, Dodds will drop it off down to his 35, and Titus plays it into the middle for Arango. He'll turn it to the outside. Medwin on the right wing. 37th minute, and a 1-0 lead for the Rhinos. Long service up the right wing side. Underneath it goes Pottinger. Knocks it down as the ball rolls off in the far corner. He's now double teamed, and that's off of Lewis and out of bounds on the far side. So a throw in for the Lynx. Caught it 5 yards out off the far side. Throw in back out to around the 35 for Medwin. As he draws it off toward the middle for Aristodemo. Turns it back to the outside again for Medwin. His chip down along the 18 for Williams, checking back on the ball. Turns it to the outside, the far end of the 18, and rolls it off in the middle for Aristodemo. Spinning around, draws it out on the far wing. Medwin, high chip. Down inside, the Rochester 18 comes out the near end of the box. Jeffrey, now Kramer takes it away, and then he'll send it ahead for Bonsu. Out to his 25, or make that Adosian. Howes trying the return pass, but puts it off the foot of Dodge and out of bounds. Throw in on the near side for the Rhinos from around their own 40.
Chris Williams was playing on the right side of midfield, now coming back to the left side. Again, when he was with Montreal, he was a terror down the flanks. Hasn't really turned it on just yet. We'll see if that comes up for Chris Williams, but he's been silent so far.
Sanfilippo's throw across midfield, flick forward by Delicott. That's knocked down and taken back by the Lynx. Williams spun around by Delicott, still drops it off for Dodge, across midfield for Jeffrey, and the Lynx on the attack. Coming back to knock it away, Howes, and the Rhinos have it. Burt's ahead for Adosian, heads it to the outside, but nobody's there. Out of bounds on the near side, and a throw in for Toronto. Bedinakovic, throw into Williams. Checking back in the ball, draws it off in the middle. Jeffrey up the left side to Dodge. Offside flag is in the air.
You just get the feeling that the Toronto Lynx, they don't have a rhythm. The guys up top, Jeffrey and Pottinger, they're not working together, kind of doing their own thing. Dodds swinging in offsides position, just no cohesiveness from Toronto. That's probably been their biggest problem all season.
Other sponsors of these broadcasts tonight include Nothnagels, Rochester's full-service realtor. Salvatore's, they deliver everything but babies. Time Warner, get all-in-one. Digital cable, digital phone, and Roadrunner. One package, save hundreds. Also brought to you by Dodge. Grab life by the horns. Dodge. Sent away downfield. It's Howes, but his pass not enough on it. Taken back by Aristodemo. Toronto with the ball. Off in the far wing and a pass out toward midfield. Pottinger checking back as he's bumped there by Lewis. Pottinger drops it off. Medwin up the right side. Long pass downfield again and behind his Dodge. Couple of steps offside against Toronto.
You know what? The referee says he saw the flag up in there, acknowledged it, but he's going to let the play continue. I like that. No stoppage in play. The game continues with the flow.
So does that count as an offside or not?
No offsides.
All right. Forget it. Wipe it out.
The call was there. The referee saw it, and there was no harm. Rhinos had possession. Why stop the run of play? I love that call.
Menyonger to the outside. Off the left wing. Lines has it in midfield. Drops it back for Lewis along his 35.
I'm going to shock you, Don. The referee's done a great job so far.
Yeah, well, what's supposed to shock me? That he's done well or that you said it?
Both.
Okay. Brought forward by Bonsu. Center circle Howes. And you're always kissing up to the refs.
Never.
Always.
That's a change of tune for me.
Sanfilippo ahead. Dozier, but that's blocked away. Stepping in, Howes hammers it. That one bounces away on the near side of Kramer, getting back to drop it off for Adosian. Turning it back, and he'll play it all the way back to his keeper, Battle. 40th minute here at Paytech. 1-0 lead for the Rhinos.
And speaking of forwards, making some connections, Delcott and Adosian. Some rhythm will be nice with those two guys up top as well.
And Younger dropping it off. Bonsu takes it there. Plays it back. Where it's picked up by Birds. He'll roll it out on the near side for Sanfilippo. Pass ahead for Howes, approaching midfield, but turns back to get away from Chin. Now switching to the left flank. Taken by Lewis and ahead to the midfield line for Lyons. Pass off in the middle from Menyonger on the attack. And Younger drawing it forward, picks up speed as he comes down to the 25, looks to slot it through to Adosian, spin around, but the ball knocked away and it's out over the end line. That off of Adosian, so it'll be a goal kick for Toronto.
But that's okay. If Johnny Menyonger is going to be the maestro, the creative midfielder, that's what he's got to do. He's got to turn, face up to the defenders, dribble at them, force them either take him on or open up some space and distribute to Adosian like he did there. That's what we got to see from Johnny Menyonger if he wants to win that leadership role.
Zagar flights it up to midfield. Kramer nods it forward, but Toronto picks it up. Chin to the outside of the near wing for Williams. Up the left side for Greg Chin. Drops it back again. It's chipped by Bedenikovic across midfield. Back goes Jeffrey. That's booted away by Sanfilippo. However, at midfield, taken by Williams. On the near side, Bedenikovic up the left wing. Sanfilippo heads it in the air, but gives an extra push to Dodge, so the foul is called, and a free kick for Toronto from 40 yards out off the near side.
Toronto looks like a tired team. Kind of dragging here on the restarts, taking their time. They look very heavy, very tired.
Bedenikovic getting set to serve it up. Well, he's a switch hitter, evidently. He was going to kick left foot. Now he turns to the other side. He's going to kick with the right foot. Turns it down inside where it's headed away by Howes. Stepping in, nodded forward. Aristodemo back heel, but that's knocked down, and the Rhinos recover the ball. Menyonger's wiped out by Chin. Play goes on. Kramer long up the right wing side of Dozian, and Titus battle for the ball. Off the foot of Titus, it's out of bounds. Throw in on the near side. Pretty good foot race right there.
Yeah, Titus has got some speed. The Trinidad and Tobago national team player. Great race there with the Dozian, and good job defensively to win it and restructure the defense.
Pushed out on the near side for Lyons. As he spins to get away from Williams up the right wing. However, Williams tipped it away and taken back by Toronto. Titus with the left foot sends a high floater down through midfield and into Rhino territory. Birch is back. He'll play it back to his keeper. Couple of hops to Vallo, stopping it at his 18. 42nd minute of Paytech. And still the only goal scored was the PK by the Rhinos. Pass up the near wing, checking back on the ball. Williams gets away from him. Sanfilippo puts it away, tips it off of Williams and out of bounds. Throw-in on the near side for the Rhinos from their own 45 on the near side. And a throw-in across midfield for Delicott. Checking back on the ball, drops it to the outside. Sanfilippo, one touch across midfield to Dozian. To the outside for Kramer. He'll tip it up the open right wing. Here's Dozian, nicking in behind. Turns to get away from Zagar. Hold the six. Pass in front. Sliding it front so he couldn't get a hold of his Dodge. Tipped it out over the end line. Great setup. But the ball just squirts through.
Beautiful service from Kramer to Adosian. And we saw one of Theo Zagar's not-so-fine moments. Kind of hesitated coming off his line there. He got caught. He got burned by Adosian. Coming hard across the box. No one there to easily tap it in for the Rhinos.
I just wonder if Adosian might not have had room to try and sneak it inside the post on the short side.
I thought he'd have a go there, too.
There's the left-footed service down inside. Hit ball, but up over top of the crossbar over the end line. A goal kick for Toronto.
But Zagar, he was coming. He stopped for a split second, then started to come again. As soon as you do that, and a guy like Adozian with his speed, you're done as a keeper there. And I agree, Don. He definitely had maybe a shot at goal.
Well, when he got around Zagar and caught up to the ball, he was maybe 2 yards out from the end line, wide at the near end of the 6, but I still think that might have been room to go for it.
With his skill on touch, he definitely could have done it. It would have been that first touch, not that extra touch, though.
Headed in the air, back goes Birch, nods it forward. On the near wing as Kramer is pushed from behind by Williams, ball out of bounds for the throw-in going to Toronto. Bedinikovic on the near side, the throw-in off the chin, right back to Bedinikovic. On the near wing, chips it along the left wing side, to him bouncing away from Pottinger and recovered by the Rhinos. Howell's pass ahead, that's knocked and turned away by Titus, and Toronto up with the ball. Here's a shot by Dodds, Hopper in on goal, and Gallo just lays down on it on his 2-yard line.
Again, the shots coming from distance, the defensive line holding up strong. They'll give Dodds and the Lynx a look from 30, 35 yards out. That's where Vallo's going to make these routine saves.
Vallo will send it away through midfield. Now in stoppage time. Or no. Here's Delicate with the right foot. Dipping shot in, knocked down at his 6 by Zagar. So the Rhinos, Matthew Delicate gets a shot away.
But a good combination there. Adozian and Delicate. Delicate maybe had a chance to push, touch it maybe one more time and get some more control of the ball, but I think he thought Zagar was a little off his line there and tried to poke it over the keeper.
Fighted through midfield by Zagar. That's headed aside by Bonsu out the near wing, and Williams will pick it up for Toronto. Overlapping in the outside goes Bedinikovic. His cross along the 18. Sanfilippo gets a foot on it, pops it up in the air, and it comes out of the near side. Chin in underneath it. Out to Bednikovic along the near touchline. Back in the middle for Chin. His pass forward. Bonsu steps in to take it away. And Menyonger up the right wing. 2 minutes of stoppage time here. As Menyonger dropping it back, and Birch will first time it away on the far wing for Lyons. Has it at the midfield line. And a pass on the left wing. And now moving in deep. It's Greg Howes. Off the left wing side. Down to the 25. As he's waiting for help to catch up. Still has it. Rolls it ahead, but Lyons to turn the other way. Howes gets it right back. Nice pass. Thank you very much. Lyons to the back heel in the corner for Howes. He's in behind and offside.
Yeah, a little too much in that corner there. Menyonger needs to check to the ball there. Give them an option. Howes and Lyons ran out of space and options there. No choice but to call the offsides on Greg Howes.
All right, so the restart for Toronto. Zagar will take the kick from his own 18, the far corner of the box, and delivers out through midfield. Birch stepping up will head it right back across midfield. Bouncing in the far side where it's controlled by the Lynx. Out ahead to midfield and now into Rhino territory. Lewis bumping with Dodds. Dodds spinning to his right. Turns it up the wing for Aristodemo. Looking for a cross down in front. Blocked down by Jeffrey. Rolls along the 6 on the near side and chased down and pushed out of bounds by Kramer. So the Lynx get it in behind the D but couldn't finish.
Yeah, finally Jeffrey got a look there. If it comes off his chest down to his foot, he's going to strike it at goal. It just came down awkward. He couldn't turn around for the shot.
So it'll be a corner kick for Toronto. Off the left wing side, third corner of the match for the Lynx.
And the quality of the service has not been the best. We'll see if it improves here from Dodds.
There it comes, low in the box. Headed away and out top. Moving in Aristodemo, nods it back inside. That's flicked up in the air, and Menyonger will bike it away on the near wing. And Adozian after it. Lyons catching up. Now 2-on-1, but Aristodemo from behind. Here's Lyons, rolls it off in the middle, and that's down, tipped away by Aristodemo. Too far for Lyons to get to it. Back is Zagar, the keeper. They'll then in turn drive it away downfield, but the whistle to stop play. Foul is called. Restart for the Rhinos from their own 40. A little bit to the left of center.
The last rush there, Adozian had Lyons. Lyons not the quickest of players in a foot race, but Adozian maybe 1v1 going right at that last defender.
And the whistle sounds, and that's it for the half. So 1 goal scored in the first half, and that by the Rhinos, which doesn't usually happen very often. The Rhinos don't seem to like scoring goals in the first half of play, but they do pick up one tonight with a little help of a PK and come out on top at the half. Again, 1 half of play completed here at Paytech Park. It's the Rhinos 1, the Toronto Lynx nothing. And this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. 1-0. Very slim lead for the Rhinos over the Toronto Lynx as we're about to get underway in the second half of play. And the Rhinos, again in their 16th match of the season, a couple of points behind Vancouver for second place, 5 behind Montreal for first place. And the Rhinos certainly would like to come up with a win here today in order to slip by Vancouver. Vancouver, they've got 5 games played more than the Rhinos, so Rochester 5 games in hand.
The Vancouver Whitecaps, I'll be honest, I'm not too worried about them. I'm a little more concerned about Montreal. They're finding their form, and they're doing a fantastic job in their last 12 games. I believe they're 8-0-4. And when they find that rhythm, they're very tough to stop. So we'll see what happens with Montreal.
All right. Looking to see what kind of changes are being made here. Is spot in the edge, Joe.
Bartholomew, number 27, has checked in. We're checking to see who he's replaced. I believe it's number 12, Bedidakovic, but I'll double check on that as Toronto breaks from the huddle. Bartholomew spent some time with the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars, who are now the New York Red Bulls, and we'll see what he comes up with off the bench for Toronto.
He's actually trying to get in his first league game since being injured last year, tearing an ACL, and saw only very limited action last year. But this will be his first league action. He did play. They had some kind of an exhibition game or something here last week. I think he played in that, but this will be his first league game.
Quality player. He's got nice technical ability. Got some pace as well. And, you know, speaking of MLS and whatnot, next year Toronto FC will be making the jump to Major League Soccer. And you wonder what happens with the Toronto Lynx here in the USL First Division if they continue to exist. Nicole Hartwell, from what I understand, Hartwell wants to continue with the club. He feels there's a market for both teams, and we'll see if some players from the Lynx make the jump to the FC of Major League Soccer, or if the Lynx even continue to exist.
Rhinos are very slow coming out. I see a Dozian here, but where's the rest of the team?
Yeah, Dozian's ready to score some more goals after 2 beautiful goals last weekend. He's hungry for more tonight.
Actually, congratulations to Dozian and Lyons being named to the Team of the Week. And then I heard just a little bit ago that Dozian, one of his goals, was named the goal of the week for last week.
It's got to be the one off the chest where he took it beautifully, came down for him, and he cracked it with the left foot. That was a well-taken goal. You're not going to see a better goal than that anywhere in the world.
So Dozian certainly has been coming along nicely. Right now he's talking with Charles Becky, and Becky, of course, has to be very disappointed that he's not in the starting pitch.
Well, you know, Becky, you got to give him credit. He's a first-class guy. A lot of guys would sulk and say, that's the guy who's taking my starting spot. I don't want to talk to him. That's my competition. Becky, he's telling him maybe some pointers, what he sees from the sideline. That's a first-class move, and I like to see Becky show that kind of class and style.
All right, so you think it's Bedidakovic that came out, right?
I don't see him back on the pitch for Toronto, so it looks like he's coming up. And I mentioned that Toronto looked very tired in the first half. Especially, I was looking at him. He looked like he was exhausted, sweating, breathing heavy. Just looked like he was out of gas in that first half.
By the way, for Toronto, Andres Arango is the only player to have played every minute so far this season. For the Rhinos now, with Scott Palguda losing his starts and actually losing his minutes. He had played every minute until last game. So the Rhinos now have only one player who has played every minute, and that would be Scott Dallow. Right now we see Palguda coming onto the pitch.
Looks like Palguda's going to make the start, but again, the Rhinos are slow to come out of the locker room, so we'll see who Palguda gets the nod for.
I wonder if maybe Lewis, he got dinged pretty good in the back of in the head. And I don't see him out there, do you?
Are you talking about the collision with the head or the one that Frankie Sanfilippo threw?
Well, yeah, he got hit in the head a couple of times. Neither intentionally.
Yeah, I don't see Ricky Lewis. So it looks like Palguda will take that left back spot from Ricky Lewis. Now, the Rhinos, they shift back to 4 in the back. We'll take a look and see what Bonsu's formation is here. Or is he going to be side by side with Greg House to make it 5 in the midfield?
All right, the Rhinos will be shooting that to our left. And Dallow will be in goal down to our right. Let's see how they line it up.
It's definitely Ricky Lewis who has come off. Dombrowski has also come on in the midfield for the Rhinos.
Oh, I see him, yeah. So Dombrowski is in.
Big changes for Coach Callaway.
And who do you think is out?
Bonsu is out, and Lewis are both the players who have come out for the Rhinos.
I'm surprised at Bonsu coming out because he was really playing a strong half.
Good stabilizer as a defensive midfielder. And Coach Callaway decided to go in a different direction. Maybe some words exchanged in the locker room. Who knows? But I thought Bonsu had a good first half. Could he be injured? We don't know.
Here we go now. In the second half of play, the Rhinos with a very slim 1-0 lead. From his own 20, Birch plays it ahead. In the middle for Dombrowski. Sneaks it through to the outside. Up the left wing and brought ahead by Lyons. He'll left-footed across midfield. That's tipped to the outside on the near wing. Drawn off, and it's cleared across midfield, but stepping in, Palguda will head it forward. Sends a long ball, fights it downfield, and played by Titus back to the keeper, and Zagar has to hustle it away. Cross midfield, Sanfilippo nods it off in the center circle for Dombrowski. He'll roll it to the outside, up the right wing, and Kramer continuing on. Kramer turns, but that's knocked away by Bartholomew of Toronto, and then jammed up into the stands by Sanfilippo. Throw into midfield on the far side for the Toronto Lynx.
Looks like Bartholomew is going to play left midfield, and Chris Williams drops back to the left back spot. We'll see if that continues for Toronto.
Dombrowski did not dress for the last 6 straight games, so he's been out of the action. That's rolled ahead out toward the 35 in the middle of Dosian. Turns it to the outside up the near wing for Lines. Drawing it ahead down to the 25. He's 1v1 with Medwin. Lines out of the near side again. Palguda off in the middle. Dombrowski takes a look around, draws it through the 35, pushing it forward. Goes to the outside. It's tipped away down inside the 18 and recovered by the Lynx. Not sure that Dombrowski might not have had a better chance of going right for goal.
Yeah, he was close to good enough for a shot there. Surprised he was a little too unselfish.
Well, that's what youngsters do when they come in. They're going to make. They don't want to be ball hogs, if you will. As the ball pushed to the outside up the left wing, it's Bartholomew, chips it down in front, back post side, and that played out over the end line as Pottinger was after it. And this is off the Rhino, so it'll be a corner kick off the right wing side for Toronto.
Yeah, it was Palguda who came in at the last second, got in front of Pottinger, as Pottinger did find some open space and tried to sneak in behind the Rhinos defense. Palguda's got to have his head on a swivel there, watching the ball and the man.
Corner kick off the right wing side, Aristodemo, right-footed outswinger kick. Sends it coming down in the middle. Palguda up in the air. Ballo up in the air, comes down with the ball at his 3.
You got the Scott part right.
Yeah. Spinning around at Dosian as he's got 5 yellow jerseys around him. Able to drop it back for Kramer. He'll drop it even deeper for Sanfilippo, down around his 25. Turns back with the ball, spins it back to the keeper. Ballo being pressured by Jeffrey with the right foot, drives it away out to midfield. Knocked down there by Williams on the left wing side as he battles Delicott. Stepping up, Kramer able to boot it ahead. Here's the Dosian. Oh, offside flag. I don't know about that one.
No way.
I don't think he was offside.
There was a 50-50 ball with Kramer and Williams. Kramer won it, and then Dosian started his run after the ball was touched. With his speed, I think it surprised the fourth official or the referee's assistant that Dosian found that much space that quick, but that's just speed chasing down the ball.
Run away. The keeper, Theo Zagar, fights it through midfield. Headed by Sanfilippo, back across midfield, checking back on the ball. Delicott settles it at the midfield line. He'll drop it off, and it's rolled to the outside by Sanfilippo off the right wing, and Kramer sneaks through as he's taken down, getting a leg on him. It was Jeffrey. Man, I thought there might be a foul there, but no foul, and the ball out of bounds, throw in for Toronto. 49th minute, 1-0 lead for the Rhinos. On ahead, turning back goes Dodds, being chased there. Dodds will play it all the way back to his keeper. Zagar takes it there. At the far end of the 18, Zagar with the left foot, chips it out through midfield. As it's blocked forward by Kramer, knocked down. Dombrowski trying to move in on the ball. Howe's also there, but Chin comes away for Toronto. Rolls it to the outside, and his first time out through midfield. Off into Rhino territory. Whoever kicked the ball kicked his boot right off. Across the way, who is that?
Bartholomew, wasn't it?
No, on the
far side,
side over the field. Now it's brought forward. Bartholomew sends it down in front and grabbed on the cross by Vallo, and he'll throw long way, all the way out to midfield for Adosian. Off the left wing side, quick break for the Rhinos. Adosian trying to sneak it through, and then he runs right into Arango, and the foul is called.
You know, but that's what I was talking about at the end of the first half with Adosian. He's got a defender square to him. Take him on. That time Adosian did a great job, and he wins the foul for the Rhinos. In that territory of the field, that's where you take your chances. You try to be a little cheeky and make something happen.
That was Dodge that lost his boot. Kicked the boot right off. All right, set to serve it up now, and the free kick for the Rhinos again, 30 yards out off the left wing side. Howes and Lines are both there.
You know what's going through the mind of Greg Howes. Do I rifle this one in or what?
Howes step over. Lines with it, goes for the upper corner of the back post, and out to punch it away, Zagar. Stepping in underneath it again, 30 yards out off the right wing side. Kramer sends it down in front, trying to sneak it through to Adosian, but it's headed to the outside, far into the 18 of Bartholomew, just sends it out of bounds.
Kramer, have a nice little hit there. Push it forward a little more. You got a ton of space in front of you. Take that little space, push it forward, running head start, and get some power behind the shot.
Throw in off the right wing side, 18 yards out. Kramer looking for someone to help out. His throw off into the middle for Dombrowski. Rolls it off. Ball in the middle for Howes. Turns to get away. Sneaks by Chin. Takes a shot at it. Cracking the ball with the right foot. And puts it 5 feet wide left of the near post.
Just got a little too deep under that. You could see the ground up rubber coming up. Because Howes from that distance normally has got a lethal, powerful shot. That time just getting a little too much of the ground instead of the ball.
1-0 lead for the Rhinos. 51st minute here at Paytech. Rhinos here tomorrow night. 7:35 kickoff against Sheffield Wednesday. Right across midfield, Dombrowski in the attack. Long, high pop up to the left wing corner. Adosian after it. As he gets to it, able to keep it in along the near touchline. It's right in the corner. 1v1 with Arango off the foot. Oh, no, the ref says no. That was off of Adosian and out, but Arango did tip it.
Yeah, that's a tough call there. As Adosian did a good job, again, to win some space, and I think he won the corner kick for the Rhinos.
Sponsors of these broadcasts tonight include Joma, the official uniform supplier to the Rhinos, available at Eurotech at the Rochester Sports Garden. By Food Link, Abundance Shared. By the Farish Group. Relax and enjoy stress-free living in your Farish apartment. See them all at Farish.com. And also by Free Time Magazine, Western New York's art and entertainment guide.
Dombrowski called there for running up the back. He tried to get up a little too quick there for the head ball. Hunting up the back of Dodds, who didn't react at all.
So it'll be brought forward now by Toronto, then popped high in the air. And that'll end up in the stands on the near side. Throwing once again for Toronto, stepping up for the throw-in. Medwin from around the 30 on the near side. Walks a few feet forward, now takes the throw-in to Dodds. As he checks back, draws it off in the middle for Chin. Pass for Aristodemo, spinning around to the 20, but taken away by Howes, and then he lost it to Chin. Toronto trying to turn to the middle, and it's knocked down and brought away by the Rhinos. Nice defensive job by Kramer, rolls it ahead for Adosian, spins around. Now works his way into the center circle. Adosian turning a little bit to his right. As he runs into Bartholomew, they both go down. And foul was called, and then on Adosian.
You know, Adosian, he's pushing forward, and Delicott, for some reason, is getting caught back a little too far defensively. Adosian looking for some options. He's 1v3. Not sure why Delicott's dropping so far back, leaving Adosian all alone up top.
Head on the left wing side. All drawn off toward the middle. Bartholomew spins to get away. Turns into the outside, the far end of the 18 for Pottinger. And he'll drop it out top. Chin cracks it with the right foot, but blocked away from the 15 out top again. Back for it goes Chin. He'll switch it to the right wing off on the near side of the field for Medwin. Moving it ahead to the Rochester 40, down to the 35. Watched by Adosian. He'll serve it up down inside, but out to head it away to the midfield is Sanfilippo. Delicott couldn't get loose, but up with the ball is Menyonger. Approaching midfield. As players catch up, Menyonger slows it up a little bit. Now turns toward the middle, has it 35 yards out. Breaks it forward. Menyonger spins it up the left wing side. Moving in, lines to the cross. Headle on the 6. Far side. Howes. His shot in, ripped in, but blocked away to the end line. Carried off at the far corner.
Good stuff there from Johnny Menyonger. Again, the creative midfielder. Possess the ball. Take it where you want it. Open up the space for the rest of the team. That's exactly what Menyonger did.
Again in the middle, Aristodemo. Off to the left side and brought away by Williams. Moving it upfield for the Lynx and into the center circle. Dropping it back. Aristodemo turns into the outside of the near wing. Long chip downfield, slots it through. Getting back, Burt's able to knock it aside before Jeffrey could get there. Burt's has it. His pass off, Palguda. Tried to sneak it through, but blocked by Dodds. Palguda spinning around again. Grabs on. Foul is called. And a restart. A free kick for Toronto. 20 yards out at the near corner of the 18.
Dangerous opportunity here for the Lynx. The rhythm, their run of play hasn't been very cohesive. Now the restarts are where you worry about Toronto, where they may have an opportunity to get back into the game because, again, in the flow of play, not much happening for the Lynx, but the restarts could be their ticket.
55th minute here at Paytech, and a 1-0 lead for the Rhinos. Aristodemo and Dodds are set. Who will take the kick? Aristodemo, step over. Here's Dodds, will take it. He chips it down inside, but headed up in the air, moving out underneath it. Dallo punches it away and outside the box. Dombrowski turns and runs into Chin, and the foul is called. So the Rhinos will have the restart from 25 yards out in the middle. That's their own 25.
From Scotty Vallo. Nice punch as Dombrowski. I think he got a little benefit there on the obstruction call. A little too slow to clear it away.
Vallo drives it ahead up the right wing side, turning back toward Williams. One touch, dropping it back inside of his 18 to Zegart. With the right foot, we'll send it out through the midfield circle. That's headed in the air. And underneath it, Burtson 1v1 with Jeffrey, and Jeffrey grabs on. The foul is called. Quick restart by the Rhinos. Palguda drops it off for Sanfilippo. Rolls it ahead to the midfield circle for Dombrowski. As he looks to the outside, sneaks a pass through to Adosian, turns upfield. Adosian pass ahead for Menyonger. Lays it out on the right side for House. Tried to slide in underneath it, but ball got away from him. He never did really gain control, and it's taken back and brought upfield by Toronto. Bartholomew on the left wing side into the center circle. As Dodds back heel to Chin on the near wing. Across midfield is Aristodemo. Drawing it down to the Rochester 35. Turns it to the outside for Medwin. Has it 30 yards out of the near wing. He'll lay it off in toward the middle for Chin. Takes a look at the outside. Leaves it there for Medwin. Blocked at the right side, but stepping into interceptors House, and the Rhinos recover the ball. With the left foot pass ahead for Delicate. As he gets tied up there, spinning around, and he takes down Arango, and the foul is called on the Rhinos.
I tell you, there's been a lot of play here between the 18s. These teams don't really penetrate that much here. It's been a very slow start to the first half for both Toronto and Rochester. A lot of play between the boxes.
Substitution. Chin is out in the 56th minute, and Decker is in. That's the 56th minute.
You look at Decker's bio. He played 1 year in Holland, also 3 years amateur soccer in Italy. Sounds like my resume.
Nails Decker. All right, ball played all the way down inside the Rhino 18. The only difference is that his resume says he played.
I did play, just with a town team.
Right?
Oh, absolutely.
But it was a soccer.
It was soccer, believe it or not.
Wow.
In Italy, it's called calcio, but it was a town team. Anybody's an amateur over there.
Played away downfield. Offside flag in the air.
That was a close call. I thought Pottinger may have been even with Kenny Burtz. And Kenny Burtz, he has had a solid game tonight defensively. Last couple of games there, especially against New Hampshire, that Barbosa really gave him fits. And Burtz now back in the groove, back in the swing of things, being that commanding presence centrally for the Rhinos.
Ballard with the right foot drives it away downfield. Here into the 18, booted aside and brought away by Aristodemo. Turning back to get away from Menyonger, now challenged by Lines, but he dropped it back, and the ball popped up in the air across midfield as it bent out of bounds. Throw in on the near side for the Rhinos near midfield. 58th minute, and a 1-0 lead still for the Rhinos, having scored back in the 23rd minute on the penalty kick.
Salvatore's for sponsoring tonight's player.
I thought they called offsides. It's actually a throw, and the ball came in and then out. I thought Jeffrey was talking to the official about being called offsides.
On throwing, Delicate able to flick it in from the corner. Dosian is in behind. Offside flag against the Rhinos.
How many stoppages are we going to see here? It's just sloppy. Players not aware of their presence on the field, where they are, and a lot of stoppages and very sluggish second half.
Restart for Toronto. 20 yards out at the near side will be taken by Zegart. Tomorrow night, right back here against Sheffield Wednesday of the English Championship League.
It's a team that John Harkes spent some time with in England. Good to see the European flavor here tomorrow night.
Headed up in the air, Delicate to the outside, but Kramer couldn't reach it. That's out of bounds.
I'll tell you what this game needs is the flair of a Johnny Ball or a Ray Martinez. It's been very flat.
Right away up the right side, Kramer drops it back. Dombrowski lays it off in the center circle and Howes, but that's blocked away. Up with it Adosian as he tries to continue on, drops it back, and Howes will spin back for the ball. Able to switch it off on the near side for Lines, up the left wing. Sends it to the open left wing side, running onto the ball, Menyonger. The 1v1 with Arango. Here's a cross down on the 6 in front, and that's flighted a little bit too high. Howes off the chest, settles the ball, drops it back on the outside on the near wing for Palguda. Up the left wing for Lines. As he looks for the opening, sends it off toward the middle for Dombrowski. Pass along the 25 of the middle for Howes. Little right-footed chip down inside the 18, booted away by Medwin. Up in the air they go. Howes nods it forward. And again in the air as Menyonger's pushed off the ball. That's driven away off the near side. Palguda nods it forward, but right to Medwin, and Toronto takes the ball back. Aristodemo drops it off. Decker stubs his toe, but still able to kick it away downfield, and chasing back for the ball goes Burtz. Lays it off for Vallow, the Rhino keeper. 60th minute. Vallow to the outside. Sanfilippo won't get there in time. It's out of bounds, so a giveaway for the Rhinos.
Vallow not happy with himself, and that sums up how this half has been going. Poor touches, poor giveaways, and no one wants to run the table here and maintain possession of this game.
Turn to the outside on the left wing. Right ahead now by Toronto. Bartholomew approaching the end line. 1v1 is knocked down by Sanfilippo, and the ball brought away. And Younger to the outside. Adosian able to tip it ahead for Delicate. Moving up is Adosian. Delicate spins with the ball across midfield, sneaks it through. Long to the right wing side goes Adosian, wide open. Fire to the 18, draws it inside. Moving in Zagar. That's blocked out over the end line. The ball just got too far ahead of Adosian.
That's a good save by Theo Zagar as Toronto and Rochester go to the bench. But what happened there is Delicate pushed it through. He thought Adosian was offsides, so Delicate tried to run through to his own ball. Adosian continued to play it. And then there was no one inside the box for the service as both forwards were outside on their right flank.
Corner kick off the right wing side for the Rhinos. Couple of substitutions, one for each team coming up here in a moment. All right. We're going to get kick first or we're going to get the sub first? Looks like the substitution coming up. Pottinger is checking off for Neto here in the 61st minute. Neto is in. And Pottinger is out.
And Adosian a little surprised that he's the one coming off. I thought Delicate would have come off the field, but Becky gets his nod to see if he and Delicate can combine. I thought Adosian had a great performance. A little surprised to see that he's the one, not Delicate.
I think tonight is the fastest I've ever seen him.
You've seen him utilize the space he's been given, taking on players and opening up the field.
All right, served up. Down inside, but the whistle is blown. And a little pushing going on. Evidently a foul is called.
The referee right in the box to make the call. Maybe some contact before the ball even came near the box. So Toronto gets the free kick and no harm on the Rhinos' corner kick.
That's the third sub of the night so far. The other players available for substitution: Kraft, Ambersley, and Martinez. All right, cross midfield. Dip to the outside. Up with the ball, the Lynx. Bartholomew jams it ahead of the left wing side for Jeffrey. Spins around and plays the ball to the outside once again. Rochester leading 1-0. 62nd minute. Drawn off in the corner. Back heel. Ball left there. Rolled out of the far side. It's still controlled and brought by Williams along the end line. Pass in the middle. Trying to get a shot away. Neto on the left wing to the end line. Tried to cross, but blocked away off the foot of the Rhinos and out of bounds. Corner kick for Toronto.
You can see the flair that Neto brings to the game. That Brazilian, South American style. Very flashy. Some quick snaps of the ball there. And Neto is going to try and create something for Toronto. He's got a nice little touch on the ball.
Corner off the left wing side. Played out top for Williams. Draws it to the far corner of the 18. Pass down in front. Booted away. And out by Dombrowski. Back out near midfield. Recovered by Medwin. The Lynx spins it to the outside on the left wing for Aristodemo. They'll chip it down inside. As Jeffrey is run over. The ball bouncing out of the near side. Dodge with it. Turns toward the middle. Trying to sneak it through. But blocked up in the air. And then booted away downfield by Howes. Sends it across midfield. Delicate on the heels of Arango. And Arango drops it back to the keeper. Moving in, Zagar gets to it, and he'll have to hustle it first time and away downfield. Alguda nods it to the outside of the near wing. Lines backing to help out. Spins with the ball on the near side. Grabbed onto his arm and got pulled around and down, and the foul is called. On the restart, Lines toward the middle. Long as 35 for Dombrowski. As they'll draw it forward. Turns it to the outside again on the near wing for Aaron Lines. And one of the players of the team of the week this past week. Alguda chips it up the left side. Lines and Menyonger in underneath it. Near into the 18. Laid to the outside of the near wing for Lines. On the right side. Turns back. Plays it to the outside. Overlapping. Alguda. High chip for the back post. Way to the far side. Settled out the chest of Kramer. And a right foot. A crack of the ball by Howes. And he misses high and wide to the right side.
Finally, some attack, some flow from the Rhinos here. As Palguda, a good service into the box there. Howes had a good look at it. Just didn't connect on it very well. This is a good substitution here by the Rhinos. Ray Martinez. He's a crafty, very exciting player. This game has gotten very flat. It's good to see Ray Martinez will come in and try and create some buzz here. Coming on for Kramer in the 64th minute.
All right. Rhinos actually have only one substitution left now, as this is their fourth on the night. So one more possibility, Kraft or Ambersley.
And I doubt it's going to be Hannigan, the backup keeper. He's stretching, but just trying to keep loose, I guess. I don't think he's going to be taking it from Scotty Bell. No. Not anytime soon.
Cross midfield, stepping in underneath it. Birch plays it to the outside, and after it lines but won't get there, it rolls out of bounds. Throw in for Toronto from the Rochester 20 on the near side. 65th minute, and a 1-0 lead for the Rhinos. Turn to the outside. Aristodemo sends it down along the 18. That's headed away and out by Dombrowski. Back for it goes Howes. Pass off to Menyonger. His feed to the center circle for Delicott. It's tied up, knocked away by Becky, but it came in, cleats up. So a foul is called. Restart for Toronto.
It's the right call, and now Rochester's got to get some kind of flow going. Toronto subs. I think Neto has made a good mark so far. Bartholomew's been also effective on the left flank.
Pass ahead. Flick forward by Dodge, but that's taken right back by Palguda. The Rhinos have it. Off on the near side of Menyonger, up the left wing, sends it through. Becky after it, gets the foot on it, but then he goes head over tea kettle, and the ball squirts away. And with it again. Aristodemo drops it back for Arango along his 35. He'll switch to the left wing side, in underneath it Bartholomew. Able to hit it to midfield, but stepping up to knock it away is Sanfilippo. Boy, he just never quits, does he?
It's the Energizer Bunny on the soccer field.
All the way downfield inside the 18, where it's taken by Zagar. But the Rhinos had no finishing attack on that one. 66th minute of Paytech, and still the very slim 1-0 lead for the Rhinos. Downfield, out of the side by Birch, out of the near wing for Lines. Rolls it up the left wing for Menyonger. Approaching midfield. Menyonger with the right foot. Pass there in the middle for Delicott, but he's bumped away. And the ball recovered by Decker of the Lynx. Up the left side for Williams. Cross midfield. Jeffrey gets a foot on it. Spins with it in the center circle. Then switches to the outside of the near wing for Aristodemo. Trying it forward. At the near corner of the 18. Here's a cross for the man and grabbed off his 2-yard line by Battle. I'm not sure if Aristodemo was passing or he's going for it.
He wasn't sure either, but the ball from Jeffrey, again, it's got to be driven forward to the space, not to the flank. You find them behind the defense, but he just slows down the attack with that soft ball.
Dombrowski to the outside on the right wing. Cross midfield for Martinez. His first touch on the ball. Draws it off in the middle. Howes right back to Martinez. Drops it back at midfield, where it's taken by Sanfilippo. Rolls it off in the middle. Howes there again at midfield. Birch, long chip up the right side, but chipped it up into the stand. So a throw in on the far side of the field for Toronto from their own 30.
This is a very different performance than we saw in the second half last week against Miami. The Rhinos scored 5 goals, 67th minute, and very bland here so far.
Ball played back. Where it's chipped forward. And then to the outside of the near wing. Oh, you know what? Last game, you had players like Adosian coming in fresh late in the game, and Lines coming in fresh. You also had Johnny Ball in there.
And you're not going to see games like that every week, obviously, but it's tailed off just way too far. This is a very, very dull performance by both teams tonight.
That's played away down to the 18. Rhinos 18 back heel. Jeffrey spins, goes to the end line, then he goes down. Play goes on, gets up, has the ball again, turns it to the outside for Bartholomew. Across along the 6, down in front, moving in Aristodemo, but it's stuck by his right foot and comes out the near wing. Carried away by Menyonger. Off the left wing side. Rolls it off in the middle for Aaron Lines. As he's watched there, pass ahead to midfield for Delicott. Approaching the center circle, gets away, rolls it ahead for Becky. Switching to the outside of the right wing and catching up with Sanfilippo. As he moves it ahead for Martinez. And overlaps on the outside. No, he slows up his run. Martinez drops it off in the middle, 35 yards out. Sanfilippo pass ahead. Becky spins it, trying to turn in front for Delicott. Comes on top. Howes with it on the right foot. Takes the crack of the ball and then blocked away on the far side, carried away by Toronto. So up the left wing side, here comes Bartholomew. Cross midfield into Rhino territory. Jeffrey tried to stick it through, but Birch intercepts. And the Rhinos take it back. On the near side for Lines.
Kenny Birch anticipated that pass. Broke it up from Jeffrey.
And Younger slides it up the open left wing. Becky after it, but couldn't get to it. Arango wins the race. On the near wing, Arango up the right side. Menyonger chasing. Arango sends it through, sliding in behind. He's safe at second base. And Jeffrey, he slid in behind and ended up offside, but play goes on.
Jeffrey and the referee's assistant on this near side. They're not going to see eye to eye today. They keep looking at each other. What are you supposed to do?
As Becky rocking it ahead on the near side, then they'll skip off his toe and out of bounds. So it's a 1-0 lead for the Rhinos. 69th minute. We pause now for station identification.
WFKL Fairport.
Cross midfield, flick to the outside. Becky after it, battling Medwin. And then he runs into it, takes down Decker, and the foul is called on the Rhinos.
You know, Becky, he's trying so hard. He's got so much pressure from Coach Calloway trying to get his spot back. He's doing things he normally doesn't do. He's not loose right now, pushing much too hard.
All brought forward, down inside the 18, slotted through, and then kicked aside at the last moment by Sanfilippo. There's a shot in head ball, they score! The shot was inside, nodded inside the upper right corner by Jeffrey. Jeffrey scores. This one is all even up at 1.
It was a left-footed cannon with the outside of the left foot by Chris Williams, and I don't know how Kevin Jeffrey even got a piece of his head on that ball. It was rifled into the box there with the left foot from the corner of the 18, and Jeffrey definitely deflects it into that far side netting. And I tell you, Don, I think it was just a matter of time before Toronto puts one in here. As Valo's watching the replay of the goal, he's helpless there. He's got no chance. As Toronto has, if anyone's been more creative and a little more attacking, it's been Toronto. I'm not sure if it's the Rhinos playing down to their opponent, but it has not been a good Rhinos performance.
Well, certainly that was a tremendous head ball. Just a little bit of a tip on the ball to send it inside the post. Otherwise, it would have gone wide.
I don't know. Maybe it was still going in. Who knows from that angle?
Could be, yeah. Burt's up the right side across midfield, so now we're even at 1. Martinez drawing it ahead, and the Rhinos are going to have to get a little more aggressive offensively now. Becky drops it back on top. Sanfilippo. As the ball is in turn taken away by Toronto, and the Lynx have found new life here. Across midfield, still Toronto looking for their first road win of the year. They're winless on the road, but they've won again 3 of their last 4 games, and so they're playing a whole lot better than they had been.
And their ball movement is much better than Rochester's tonight, and the confidence is definitely there. Again, they're playing one of the top teams in the league. They could be playing ahead above, but again, the Rhinos are playing down to Toronto's level.
Fighting through midfield. Palguda hits it away to midfield circle. That's not a side off on the near wing again. Jeffrey turns it to the outside. As that is off of lines and out. Throw in on the near side for the Rhinos from about, throw in for Toronto from the Rhinos 35. No, a foul was called and a restart for Toronto. Even at 1 now, 72nd minute. Right ahead by Neto. Drawing it forward down to the 20 as he's challenged from behind by Menyonger. He goes down, lands on top of the ball.
Now, that's a tough call there for Toronto. Neto, there's no way he's going to take a dive there when he gets around the Rhinos defender. And unlucky for him, but good news for the Rhinos.
Valo setting the ball at his 25 for the restart. With the right foot, sends a line drive kick downfield. Delicott able to flick it up in the air. Big pop on the ball as Arango and Becky tie up, and that's Becky drawing the foul. Referee Geiger had a couple of words for Becky, so maybe he's getting close.
He's getting a number of fouls called against him. The yellow card will probably come out the next time for just a huge number of fouls. But Becky, you got to feel for him. He's trying so hard to make something happen.
Downfield, Palguda nods to the side, off of the near wing and lines in underneath it. Off the left wing side, chips it across midfield. Becky runs into Arango.
Yep.
And, he pushes Arango down, and this time the yellow flag, or the yellow card comes out on Becky here in the 73rd minute.
The referee holding his hands up in the air 3 times now that Becky has been a little late on the challenge. And again, that's just coming from Becky working extra hard, trying to make something happen, not having the composure now. He's just got to relax, play his game. He's a great forward. Just he's forcing it too much.
Well, now he has not only those things that you just said, but he has to be careful also.
One more little cheeky foul there, and he's going to be gone.
On the restart for Toronto from their own 35, 73rd minute and even at 1. Lighted downfield. Palguda nods it forward. Becky checking back on the ball, but it's sent away by Arango. Into the middle for Jeffrey, then blocked away. Jeffrey got up pretty high with the boot, so the whistle stops the play and a restart for the Rhinos from their own 25.
A little fancy, too fancy there for Jeffrey, a little dangerous with the kick.
And for Becky, flicks it ahead. Delicott in underneath it. Spins around, hit ball down inside, but one big hop taken by Zagar.
That's the move from Becky. Be the big target man up top, receive the ball, lay it off. Be the first one to get there. We don't need to have those late fouls at all.
Out of midfield. Challenged across the way, but escaping with the ball is Williams. Moves it up the left wing and spins it off toward the middle for Neto. As he's challenged, turns it to the outside again for Williams. Drops it back, and Bartholomew able to keep it in play for Decker. Pushing it ahead with the pass picked off and brought away by the Rhinos. Palguda on the right side for Martinez. Drops it off in the middle. First time away down by Burt's. Through to the open left wing side across midfield. Nobody there for the Rhinos. It skips out of bounds on the near side. So a throw in for Toronto from their own 40 on the near side.
Just pieces of a team right now. You got defenders, you got midfielders, you got forwards. You don't have a team out there right now for the Rhinos. The rhythm, just not there.
Head in the air as Lyons is taken down, and the ball off the head ball from Lyons. So a throw in for Toronto on the near side. Throw in short to Jeffrey. Turns it away on the near wing, tried to sneak it through, but that's knocked aside and turned Menyonger out with the ball, able to push it off in the middle for Dombrowski. Into the midfield circle, pulling it forward, looks to the outside, but still has it. Dombrowski throws it to the outside on the near wing for Aaron Lyons. As he slows it up and players move forward, pass in the middle for Howes. Turns to his left to get away from Dodds. Moving it forward, pass in the middle, but that's popped up in the air by Titus. Coming on top for Neto. Off the chest, settles the ball, draws it to the outside of the near wing for Aristodemo. On the right wing side, watched by Menyonger. Chip downfield. After it, Neto. One-on-one with Birch. Trying to draw it through. Neto still with the ball. Turns to the middle. Lays it on the open left wing side. Moving in. Bartholomew slipped away on the tackle by Sanfilippo.
That's a game-saving slide tackle there from Frankie Sanfilippo at the last second, able to get in front of Williams.
Cross midfield. Sanfilippo on the long run for Becky. Turns back with the ball. It got away. Tipped off his toe, but kept in play by Delicott. Drops it off on the outside for Martinez up the right wing. Martinez down to the 35, to the 30, with the right foot. Long cross down inside. Becky hit ball off the top of the net and over. And it was an inch high of the crossbar. Great service by Martinez. Excellent shot by Becky.
That's what Ray has brought into the game to do, to be creative and have some great service from the flanks. Becky, a wonderful attempt to try and just redirect it soft with the header. That's a big man showing some great touch there.
Sponsors of these broadcasts include the Distillery. There's always something special brewing at the Distillery. By Auto Depot and Auction Direct. For your next car, log on to auctiondirect.com. Also brought to you by Clarion Riverside Hotel across the street from the Rochester Convention Center. Lighted through midfield on the far side, Bartholomew. As he's taken down, foul called on the Rhinos.
And I tell you, Toronto, for the last place team in the league, they've given the Rhinos all they can handle tonight. This league has definitely improved. Every team very competitive.
It's driven away downfield. Back go the Lynx. Chased down by Arango on the near side. Drops it back to Zegar with the right foot. First time's a high floater through midfield. Alguda up, able to head it forward. Delicott in underneath it, couldn't quite reach it. There's one big hop. Now Palguda stepping up again. Another head ball off the left wing side, rolling along the near touchline. Arango blocking Menyonger away, and the ball out of bounds. 77th minute at Paytech, and we're even at 1.
The Rhinos, someone's got to step up and take control of this game here. You need the 3 points. Montreal, as we said before, starting to form a little run here. The Rhinos got to get something going.
Jeffrey heads it away out of bounds. Throw in on the near side for the Rhinos. Jeffrey having a few words for, I think, his own teammate, right? Isn't it for Neto? They have a throw into Martinez. Works along the 40 in the middle. Turns it ahead. And goes to the outside for Howes. Sends it to the open right wing side. Howes after gets to it just in time, but not much you can do with it, as the ball had a little too much pace on it.
And Titus could have saved that there, but what you're going to see now is Toronto take their time. They've got a 1-1 result here right now. They'll be very, very happy to get out of Rochester with a draw. They can steal the win fine, but now no reason to stop the ball deep in your own territory. Regroup, take the goal kick, and catch your breath.
78th minute, even at 1. Zegar drives it away through midfield. Sanfilippo able to head it forward on the far side. In underneath it, unable to get to it is Martinez, so a throw in across the way for Toronto.
Just not there. It's just the ball not bouncing the Rhinos' way tonight. The passing has been off the mark, and it's not a solid unit we're seeing here in the second half.
Toronto out shooting Rochester so far in the match, 12-7. Cross midfield, knotted across the midfield line again into Toronto territory. Howe's able to push it forward, and it strips into the center circle. Dombrowski sliding in, but it gets away from him, recovered by the Lynx. Dodds on the outside of the near wing for Medwin. Pass returned into the middle. Dombrowski moving in, and he puts the feet out from under Dodds, so it's a foul being called on Dombrowski.
Dodds took a little shot there from behind, but it's good to see. He just gets up, shakes it off, continues to play. Very tough competitor, Dodds, the only player to represent Toronto in the All-Star game this week down in Cary, North Carolina.
He leads Toronto in goals, assists, points, shots, fouls.
What else did the guy do?
Either he's doing everything or the other players aren't doing anything.
Or he's driving the bus, too, I heard.
I don't know, maybe. Throw in on the near side for Toronto. The Rochester 20 to the near end of the 18 for Neto. Turns to his left. Still has it along the 18. Here's shot in, knocked down by Vallow, and comes up with it on the first half.
That's a good save from Scotty Vallow. As that ball was knuckling, you could see Vallow wasn't going to catch it. Just did a great job to get his body behind it, not give up a rebound, and keep possession for the Rhinos.
In the middle, Dombrowski. He'll roll it back around his 35. Palguda pass ahead to midfield for Menyonger. Spins, but dumped there by Medwin. Foul is called. Restart for the Rhinos just across the midfield line. 80th minute now and tied at 1. Palguda will take the restart. Looks around, rolls it to the outside of the near wing for Lines. Chips it ahead up the left wing. Menyonger after it. But that's booted up into the stands by Medwin. So a throw in on the near side for the Rhinos. Quick throw in. Lines ahead for Becky. They'll play it to the outside again for Line. Sneaks through 1 against 4. Ball knocked loose and carried away by Toronto. On the near side across midfield, and underneath it is Neto. Watch there by Birch. Neto up the left wing, looking toward the middle. Still has it. Rolls it back along the middle. Sneaks a pass through. Sanfilippo steps in to knock it aside. And the Rhinos have it. Off to Martinez up the right wing. Sanfilippo making a run, but Martinez unable to get the ball to him. Long service down inside after it. Becky at the 18. Settles the ball to the right side. And it's pushed away by Arango. Boots it up into the stands. Throw it to the far side for the Rhinos from 15 yards out.
And you get the feel that Becky's getting into the flow, getting into the rhythm of the game. His touch looking a little better. His confidence now. He's settled down. Not forcing it so much, trying to make something happen.
Birch will move over for the throw-in. Kenny Birch has that long throw-in. Looks like the Rhinos might get ready to make another substitution. Set to go. Birch off the right wing side. Moves a little bit now. Takes the long throw in down inside. They push. Hit ball. Oh, picked off the line by the goaltender Zagar. As Becky got the shot away, one hopper down, almost stuck under the left hand of Zagar.
They called him for a push, though. I thought Arango and Becky were both pushing, but give Becky credit to show the strength there. Even get a head on the ball. When Menyonger comes off for the Rhinos here, Ambersley comes on. That's been a juggling act now. The creative midfielder, is it Menyonger? Is it Ambersley? Ambersley gets another 10 minutes or so to see if he can create. Menyonger very quiet here in the second half, and I guess he's not going to be that creative midfielder tonight.
Played away downfield, popped up in the air in the center circle. Ambersley forward as he is sent flying, but no whistle. Play goes on, so the Rhinos have had quite a few of their young players in the lineup here tonight.
Great confidence from Coach Callaway. We'll see if they can pay dividends.
Booted back across midfield to the far side. Bartholomew pops it up in the air. That's knocked down, but out of bounds off Sanfilippo, so a throw in for the Lynx. 82nd minute of paycheck, and it's even up at 1.
Ambersley is going to be withdrawn behind Delicott and Becky. Look for him to hopefully create something in that midfield spot. It hasn't been nothing at all for the Rhinos there tonight.
Tipped away out of bounds again off of Martinez, so a throw in on the far side of the field for Toronto. This time from about 35 yards out. There's the throw in, short to Bartholomew, right back to Williams, chips it up the left wing side. As the ball is spun around out of bounds, that is played away and out, so a throw in for the Rhinos. That's off of Jeffrey. Rhinos will have a throw in from around their own 30. Sanfilippo off the left wing side. Becky missed on the flick, and is taken away by Toronto at midfield. Feet ahead, checking back on the ball. Neto turns to his left. Trying to come away, 1v1 with Birch, looking to slot it through, but intercepted and carried away by Dombrowski. Brings it upfield, chased from behind, sneaks into the outside of the near wing for Lines. Turns up the left wing and across midfield. Lines a hit for Ambersley, too far ahead, it sneaks by his left foot and out.
I tell you, that pass sums up the second half for the Rhinos. A little off the mark, a little too far, not in the right spot. That has been the Rhino story in the second half.
Throwing on the near side for Toronto. That's volleyed through midfield by Dodge, but underneath it, Palguda heads it in the air across midfield. Hammersley's passed toward the middle, but that's right into Dodge and recovered by Toronto. Links with the ball through midfield, knocked down to the midfield line by Dombrowski. In the center circle. Takes the look downfield, turns to his left, sneaks it to the outside of the near wing for Lines. Laying it down to around the 40. His cross down in front, and it's headed away and on top. And Decker will boot it away to midfield. Stepping in, Palguda in a collision with Jeffrey, but Bartholomew up the left side. In offside is Neto.
You know what? Good recognition there from Bertz and Sanfilippo. Neto had some space there. He found the gap. The Rhinos defense knew they weren't going to catch him. They just stepped forward, offsides. Great trap there by the Rhinos.
Long service down in front. One hopper up in the air, grabbed by Zagar at about his 10. So the ball brought forward by Toronto at midfield. Dodge able to chip it along the near wing, and Birch back for it, but taken away by Neto. He'll pull it down deep in the right wing corner. Birch one-on-one with Neto, drawing it back on top, and a long cross through everybody, flighted out on the far side. And underneath it goes Williams up the left wing side. Pass in the far wing to Jeffrey. Has it 35 yards out, looking to sneak it through to Bartholomew and does. Return pass, Jeffrey spinning to his right, still has it. Turns back to his left, switching back again, trying to come away. Finally knocked away by Dombrowski, and the Rhinos have the ball. The midfield area for Becky. As he's challenged, drops it off. Martinez plays it in the middle for Dombrowski. Turns nifty move to get around to Aristodemo and draws it out of the near wing for Lines. Off the left side, Ambersley. He'll work it along the midfield line. Center circle, long switch to the outside of the far wing, and in underneath it goes Sanfilippo.
Bartholomew had a great chance to intercept it there, just didn't stick the leg out for the Lynx.
Martinez, big cross down in front. Becky with a head ball, and he misses wide left. Didn't get enough noggin on it. Goal kick coming up for the Lynx. Sponsors of these broadcasts include Nextel, helping groups get things done. Called 800-NEXTEL-9 by Best Volvo, Rochester's exclusive Volvo dealer at 1500 University Avenue, and by the World Gym, the official strength training facility of the Rochester Sports Group at 1717 East Avenue.
Tell you, Becky is knocking on the door. Hopefully he's got enough time to kick that thing in. He's getting his opportunities here on balls that are crossed into the box.
Headed out through the center circle. Jeffrey knocks it down, but Palguda spins him away. However, the foul is called on Palguda. Restart for Toronto.
That's the softest I've seen Jeffrey get touched, and he gets the call. He's been hammered and gets no calls at all this time. The referee, maybe a little sympathy there for Jeffrey, but there was almost no contact at all from Palguda.
86th minute, even at 1. Dodds on the restart from 40 yards out of the middle. That's tipped aside. Nice job by Howes and brought away by Embersley. However, sliding in and blocking is Dodds. Comes off on the near wing for Lines on the Rhinos maintain control. Delicott checking back across midfield to his own side. Plays it back to Palguda. Now long chip through midfield. Becky will chest it aside for Embersley. He'll switch long to the right wing side for Martinez. Draws it down to the 20. Turns it back along the 20 in the middle. Spins back to another switch back. Still spinning around as he's chased there by Bartholomew. Now a cross down in front, but that's booted away by Titus. Off of the far wing, Bartholomew takes it. With the left foot, drives it out on the near side toward midfield. Moving in underneath it. Lines pulls it up the near side. On the left wing on the attack. Long cross down in front. Moving in. That's knocked down. Here's Howes taking a shot in front. Couldn't get much wood on it, and the ball is brought away. Out the near side. Stepping up, Sanfilippo. Back in the middle with a left foot pass ahead for Delicott. As it's knocked away from him and pushed out on the far side and brought away by Jeffrey.
Again, what is Theo Zagar thinking coming off his line? In no man's land, he almost loses the game for the Lynx.
Off the left wing side, Jeffrey after it. He's onside, heads it down inside the 18. Moving in, crossing, foot blocked away out of the end line. Off the Rhinos, a corner kick for Toronto.
You can see the Rhinos defense is tired. Kevin Jeffrey is tired. Tried to go forward and serve a ball into the box. Even if they've gotten through, Neto and Bartholomew are not even there for the Lynx because they're just out of gas. They can't make that long run.
Other sponsors of these broadcasts: Weigel's, the official hot dog at Paytech Park. By Cintas, the service professionals discover what Cintas can do for your organization. And by Phoenix Graphics for all your printing needs. Corner kick off the left wing side will be taken by Dodge. Into the box, headed up in the air. On the near side, it's knotted away out top. As that is almost volleyed in by Decker, then booted away and out of the box. Brought off on the near side by Becky. To the outside, taken by Lines. Play off in the middle for Ambersley, spins it upfield. Ambersley approaching the midfield circle, in the middle for Dombrowski. Turns and looks, switching to the outside for Howes on the right wing. As he sneaks it through, and Martinez up the right wing. We're in the 88th minute. Cross down along in front, booted away by Titus off in the far corner. One bouncer out of bounds. It'll be a throw in on the far side. No, offside. Evidently offside against the Rhinos.
Looks like 2 or 3 Rhino players were offsides there on the service for Martinez, and difficult to see from this angle. But again, this is definitely a benefit for the Lynx to slow things down and not let Rochester continue this attack. Martinez, good service in the box, maybe not driven high enough or hard enough for the Rhinos' liking.
Looks like Toronto will make a sub. Zagar sends it through midfield. That's headed for by Howes. Delicott couldn't get to it as he's pushed off the ball. On the far wing, Bartholomew drawing it up the left wing and chased down by Jeffrey. Looking to sneak it through, but Birch is there to recover for the Rhinos. To the outside. Off the right wing, long kick downfield by Sanfilippo. As he's wiped out, the ball through everybody and rolls all the way down inside the 18 to Zagar. 89th minute now at Paytech. Even at 1. Zagar picks the ball up as Becky pressures.
Fans, there is 1 minute remaining in the half. And
with it, Theo Zagar drawing it ahead outside the box. With the right foot, sends it away downfield. Palguda heads it high in the air, across midfield. Becky able to flick it to the outside for Martinez. Watched by Titus from 35 yards out. Martinez Still looking around. Switch back to the middle now. Turns to the outside. Titus still on him. He'll chip it up the open right wing. After Sanfilippo. Both the ball rolls out of bounds off of Sanfilippo. And a throw in across the way for Toronto and a sub for the Lynx. As checking into the match will be Ryan Enstey.
And we'll see now if the Rhinos, as we approach stoppage time here, have the magic left to create something here in stoppage time. Again, Ricky Lewis did it last week. We'll see if someone can step up and be the hero for the Rhinos tonight. Jamie Dodds, very quiet night as the leader of the Lynx. He's had a quiet night. Kevin Jeffrey been very effective, but Dodds coming off, taking his time, making the long trek across the pitch.
Has to walk all the way across the field. Don't forget, tomorrow night, right back here. Tomorrow night, Sheffield Wednesday. A team from the English Championship League will be here to meet the Rhinos. 7:35 is kickoff time.
Fans get a taste of a team that's just one step below the English Premiership in Sheffield Wednesday. Frankie Simic, an American from Missouri, starting at right back. Good to see him playing and being successful in Europe.
Throw in for the Lynx. Off the left wing side, but headed back toward the middle. Booted up in the air by Jeffrey and into the stands. Throw in for the Rhinos this time. 35 yards out on the far side. Moving up for the throw in.
Did you see the stoppage time? Oh, there it is.
3 minutes. 3 minutes. Down inside. Knocked away as Delicott was pushed off the ball, and Bartholomew on the left wing. They'll drive it long downfield. Back for it. Well, Ballo coming way out. Well, first time it away the other way. That's headed by Titus out to the midfield line. Sanfilippo pops it up in the air off the head ball. Knocked aside and controlled by the Lynx. Jeffrey on the left wing. Pass ahead, but that's blocked away again. Booted into Rhino territory. As up with it, Nels, and offside flag is in the air.
I think the referee's assistant wanted to call it before. Didn't get a chance that time. Neto again gave him the opportunity to make the call again.
Off the left wing side. Pass ahead, Arestademo drops it off. That's played out to midfield. Dodge to the outside of the near wing, but gives it away to Ambersley. Rhinos have it. Ambersley is zone side of midfield for Birch. He'll play it to the outside up the left wing for Lyons. Cross down inside. That one flicked toward. Down inside the 18. Becky after it. Far end. Great footed shot. Hits the outside of the net. Over the offside flag in the air, nevertheless.
Thought it was touched last by a Toronto player. Surprising to see the offsides flag go up there. But Becky, the opportunities are coming. The composure is there. He's settled down, and he's created some good chances for himself.
We have a Toronto player down on the pitch, grabbing onto his left leg. Is that Arango or is it Medwin? Anyway, wasting time. Toronto doing as much as they can to waste time now, of course. Even at 1. And we're in stoppage time. Probably, about 2 minutes to go.
If that. Now they'll add some more with the injury to Medwin for the Toronto Lynx. And again, they can get out of Rochester with the 1-1 draw. That's a huge result for Toronto. Very positive result for a team that's won 3 of their last 4 games.
And a very big disappointment for the Rhinos.
They have been off. There's no doubt about it. This is not the quality of the Rhinos side that we've seen before. They just couldn't find their mark tonight, couldn't find their rhythm.
So Medwin is up. He's all right. And runs under his own power off the pitch. Again, stoppage time, even at 1. Medwin invited back on. That's such a bogus thing, you know.
And now the referee stops. I think he's going to pull him back over to midfield.
I thought he waved him on.
What's he stop and play for? No, he's sending him off again. He's going to punish him a little bit here for taking maybe what we call a dive here in stoppage time. So he's going to make him play a couple seconds here, sure. We'll see how long he waits.
All right, Zagar sends it downfield. As soon as the ball is kicked, he's invited right back on. Big deal.
That's a waste of time.
Jeffrey up the left wing side, in underneath it. Anstey nods it to the corner as he bumps, and the ball brought away by the Rhinos. Alguda with the left foot. Hammers it out into the midfield circle. Becky off the chest, knocks it down. And it's knocked away from him, but continuing on his house for the Rhinos. Long to the right wing side, but Martinez had stopped his run. And the ball rolls all the way down to the end line. Picked up by Zagar as Delicott pressures. Again, probably about a minute or so to go. Or maybe no time left.
Maybe not.
Maybe no time left. All right. right, so this one ends in a draw tonight here at Paytech Park, and certainly it'll be much more pleasing of an outcome to the Toronto Lynx than it will be to the Rochester Rhinos.
Absolutely.
Rhinos will be very disappointed coming out of this one with a tie, especially since they had the lead through the first half of play, and Toronto battles back, ties it up, and comes away with the point here tonight. All right, final score tonight at Paytech Park. Rochester Rhinos 1, Toronto Lynx 1, and this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Well, tonight at Paytech Park, the Rhinos do pick up a point, but certainly wanted 3 tonight as they were taking on the last place team in the league. But, there's something at Toronto. I'll tell you what, it could be the best I've seen Toronto look in maybe ever. I don't know. I thought they played a very impressive game tonight.
Well, is it a matter of the Lynx playing a good game or the Rhinos just having a stinker? I don't know. I might lean towards the latter. I think the Rhinos just did not have a good game tonight, and they made the Lynx look good.
So Toronto coming up with their 4th win of the season against 10 losses and 2 ties. Oh, no, wait a minute. That's not a win. That's a tie. So they are 3-10-3 on the year with 1 point. Now I have 12. I'm trying to give them more than what they got. Yeah. And the Rhinos in 16 games played this year, a 7-2-7 record with 1 point. Now have 28. So move to within 1 point of Vancouver for second place. But, of course, Montreal on top with 32. Montreal was playing tonight, too, I believe. So
8 o'clock kickoff.
They'll still be even in games played after tonight. And Rochester on the season now with 1 win and 1 tie. A 1-0-1 record against Toronto. They play twice more. And once here, once in Toronto. The next time they play will be August the 18th here in Rochester. Then they'll finish up the season series August the 20th in Toronto. All right, let's check out what happened in the game. The first goal on the night coming in the 23rd minute. And that by the Rhinos, scoring on a penalty kick. As Aaron Lyons was hauled down inside the box. The shot was taken by Menyonger, and he scores in the 23rd minute. And this one gives the Rhinos a 1-0 lead. Then the game went into the second half, and as Joe was telling you, Toronto just kept building and building on it. And finally came out and tied it up. And in the 78th minute, scored by Jeffrey. His first of the season. Williams with the assist. Jeffrey able to just barely get a flick off the head ball into the net and even it up at 1. Out in the 76th minute. And that even at 1. That was the end of the scoring in the game. That's where it ended up. All even up at 1 apiece. On the night, Toronto outshot the Rhinos by a 12-9 margin. Corner kicks. 6 for Toronto and 4 for the Rhinos. Offsides. Rochester had 6 and the Lynx had 7. And then other statistics on the board. 13 fouls against Toronto and 19 against the Rhinos. Saves on the night. Scott Bello had 8 saves. He was a busy man. And at the other end, Theo Zegar was credited with 3 saves. So there's your stats on the night. And the Rhinos and Lynx come up with a 1-goal tie.
I don't know about you, but this feels like a loss tonight.
Yes.
It really does. You're playing the last place team. Granted, they've been on a bit of a streak, but the Rhinos could have shown much, much more than they did tonight. And I hate to be in that locker room tonight. Coach Callaway, Coach Fitzpatrick, they're going to have an intense couple of minutes in that locker room as players are walking off the field a little dejected, as they should be. It feels like a loss. The Rhinos did get a point tonight.
All right, let's go with these awards tonight. The Pellegrinos sub of the game.
Sub of the game. I'm going to go with Neto from Toronto. I think he did a good job of settling the ball up top, letting Toronto's defense recover a little bit, taking on players. I think Neto from off the bench did a good job for Toronto tonight.
All right, that's the Pellegrino sub of the game. And tonight's Power Trip player of the game.
Well, my first half player of the game was Aaron Lyons. He showed great confidence on the ball, getting the PK for the Rhinos in the second half. Really, no one from either side stood out, so I guess Aaron Lyons, by way of his solid first-half performance, gets player of the game.
I thought Adosian had a great number of opportunities in the game.
That's another good choice, and we were talking about that, too, when he came off. We were both surprised he was taken off. That would be a good choice, too, Lyons or Adosian.
Then the other player, and not because he scored the goal, but for Toronto, I thought played an excellent game with Jeffrey.
Yeah, he was solid. Sometimes Kevin Jeffrey doesn't come to play, but against the Rhinos, unfortunately, he always brings his game. And on that goal, I have no idea if he headed the ball or the ball hit him in the head, because Williams unleashed a rocket that somehow Kevin Jeffrey got his head on.
All right, so the Rhinos are back here tomorrow night to take on Sheffield Wednesday of the English Championship League, and that game kickoff at 7:35. We invite you all out tomorrow night. And that, of course, a non-league game. The league action will pick up again next weekend as the Rhinos continue their stand at home during the month of July. All right, coming up next will be the post-game show. Joe, what's got going on tonight?
Soccer Sam will join us. We'll take your calls at 222-9393. Love to hear from the fans and what they think about this 1-1 draw with Toronto. 9,232 fans in attendance here tonight. Love to take your calls on the post-game show.
So stick around. A lot more to come your way yet tonight along our network as the Rhinos and the Lynx end up all even up. The final score tonight at Paytech. Rochester Rhinos 1 and the Toronto Lynx 1. I'm Don Stevens. Thanks for being along, and this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network.
Welcome to the Rochester Rhinos post-game show. Joe Giuliano with you tonight. Soccer Sam will be joining us in the next segment. If you're driving home in your car, you make the match tonight. The final score of the Rhinos and the Toronto Lynx playing to a 1-1 draw. And the crowd here of 9,232 at Paytech Park. And in all honesty, probably one of the weaker performances from the Rhinos we've seen in quite some time. We'll talk about that on the next segment. Coming up after the break, it's the next Nextel Direct call-in show driven by Auto Depot and Auction Direct. And when we come back, Soccer Sam will be joining us along the Rhinos Broadcast Network.
Salvatore's will deliver hot pizza slices to your event, pre-cut and ready to sell. Call 234-5555 or check out salvatores.com.
234-5555.
Welcome back to the Rhinos post-game show. It's time for the Nextel Direct call-in show driven by Auto Depot and Auction Direct. I'm Joe Giuliano. Soccer Sam will be joining us here in a second. The number to call, folks, is 222-9393. Give us a call. The Rhinos and the Toronto
Sausage Links, Joey.
To a 1-1 draw here at Paytech Park.
Sick.
Sammy, I said it in the broadcast. I said it in that last segment. Probably one of the weaker performances we've seen from the Rhinos in a while. I'm not impressed with their performance tonight at all. They just did not have any rhythm.
Something wasn't right tonight. I can't figure out what it was, but I can tell you some strange things I've never seen at this stadium or at Frontier. The Rhino players changing their shorts in front of the whole crowd. I mean, people complain about the rhinestone outfits. These guys are like half naked changing in their shorts. I never seen nothing like that. And Toronto had their own cheerleaders here.
Was that who the girls were in the stands?
I never seen that either, but it was a crazy game, man. It's just something's just not clicking with the midfield and the offense. I can't figure out what. Maybe our callers will know.
The number to call is 222-9393. This is the Nextel Direct call-in show with Joe Giuliano. Sam, what do you say we right to the phones?
Let's clear the lines, baby.
Scott, you're first up. Welcome to the post-game show. How are you tonight?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Oh, I'm okay. Not excited like I was last week, but again, we're not going to see games like that. What are your thoughts on the game tonight?
I hate to say it, but I got to blame the coaching. It's Coach Laurie giveaway, not Callaway anymore. We've given away ties. We've lost games. I mean, this is Toronto we're talking about. They're in last place.
No, I don't know if I want to go as far as blame the coach, but I think the whole team performance, and including the coach tonight, it wasn't there. There was no rhythm, and Sammy, I think he nailed it on the head, the midfield connection. What we saw tonight, I think, was we saw defenders, midfielders, and forwards. We didn't see a team out there tonight.
A lot of nerves out there. You can sense it.
No team. They weren't talking out on the field. They weren't communicating. It was like they were first playing together for the first time. It was absolutely horrific.
Do we throw this in the mix? Do the Rhinos play down tonight to their opponent, knowing Toronto's in last place? Is that probably part of the problem? What do you think, Scott?
I think it could be in the beginning, but then all of a sudden you got to wake up and say, uh-oh, we're doing something way wrong here. I mean, I saw it after the first 2 minutes. I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, I know we play good teams good, bad teams bad, and always play to a tie, but that's besides the point. I mean, something's got to change. This was 3 points that we needed badly. I mean, didn't they realize it?
Yeah, that's a big 3 points with Montreal starting to pull away and find their form. Well, Scott, put the coach's head on right now. Excuse us here for a second.
I couldn't hear you there. I'm sorry.
Okay. Put the coach's head on for a second.
My vacuum cleaner. I just turned it on.
Where do you see where do you see the problems?
I think Sammy hit it on the head. Just about everybody out on the field. I mean, there's no communication. There's no togetherness. This team isn't gelling. Ball he was on the field. Perry's not. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I know we got to get a team, we got to stick with them, we got to let them work together, but we're playing the last place team in the league.
But, on that comment, though, this is not a bad team. This is a good team. This team improved quite considerably since we played them the last time in Toronto. I think Toronto is a good team. I just think for whatever reason we just aren't clicking. You can see the confidence there. You see the guys when they make a mistake, they're looking at each other, they're pointing at each other, things that you really shouldn't see at this stage of the game.
Exactly, and that's all teamship. And then they just don't have it right now, and that I have to blame on the coach. The coach has got to get these guys playing like one.
Scott, anything else tonight?
That's it.
We appreciate the call. Oh, go ahead.
How's that for a positive?
Wait, what's that?
They had a great fireworks show after the game.
All right,
you got to
Scott,
end on
thanks
a
for the call.
positive, right?
That's right.
Have a good night.
All right, Scott, thanks for the call. The number again, 222-9393. I believe we have Tripp on the line. Tripp, are you there? Tripp, how you doing today?
Tripp.
Trick?
Yeah, Tripp.
Tripp, okay. Tripp. Tripping foul. What's up?
I really don't know where to point the finger at, and I'm not looking to. I'm not sure if it's all about coaching or what, but there's a lack of a sense of urgency out on the field. And, it doesn't really matter what level the soccer is being played at. There has to be movement in the midfield and movement from the forwards so that they can possess the soccer ball. I'm sorry?
Go ahead.
Okay. So that they can possess the soccer ball from, the back third to the forward third and actually do something with it. Delicant was out there running around like a chicken with his head cut off, and until they put Charles Becky in and he started making some quality runs up in the front, there was no production, and not just long balls. I'm talking about, quality, good possession in the front until somebody actually started moving and running to space. And it's not, it's not rocket science. It's that sense of urgency that I just don't see at really any point on the field, and I don't know what you guys think or if you agree.
Tripp, I do agree, because if I watch the game, and I also watch the body language of the coach and the players, and I watch them time after time waving their hands forward, trying to push and motivate these guys to go urgently and attack, and I agree with that, too. There's just some kind of sluggish play. They're not. I think it comes with confidence, though. Confidence in each other and confidence on the ball. Aaron Lyons had it in the first half. He was taking players on, but then it disappeared. I don't know what happened, and I agree. It's a little weakness to attack and scared to attack at times, I think. Anything else, Trev?
I'm sorry.
Anything else? Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no, it's saddening to see because of having been a Rhinos fan for so long and seeing them do it and do it right, for the several seasons that they did, they're not that far away from that. It's just certain little things that aren't getting done, play in and play out and game in and game out, and they're so close.
Tripp, I agree. Thanks for the call. We got a lot of calls lined up.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Tripp. The number here is 222-9393. Let's not all jump off the boat here yet, folks. The Rhinos, it's only one game. It feels like a loss, but it's a 1-1 draw against Toronto. But we'll talk about this game only, and if we're talking about this game only, it was a bad performance for the Rhinos. But again, looking at the big picture, the team is still at the top of that table.
Joe, I got some positives, though. I thought Aaron Lyons played great.
He did.
Vallo, he saved the goal right there. Point blank, lower corner, saved it.
Nice save.
Greg Howes had a lot of opportunities in the box. Took some shots. Unfortunately, they didn't go his way. Kenny Burtz, despite his injury at the 3-minute mark, I thought he played solid back there. And Frankie Sanfilippo saved another goal. So that's the concern I have, is that I think our defense and our goalie saved probably 3 other goals. But in reality, did Theo make any positive saves or amazing saves to keep us in the game?
You talk about Theo Zagar, and I tell you, at times Don and I were talking about it during the broadcast, as Don Stevens leaves tonight. Have a great night and great call on the game as usual. He makes some decisions where he comes off the line and you're like, Soccer Sam wouldn't even do that, but he does it and gets away with it. He got away with it tonight. Wasn't made to pay the price for coming off and not winning the ball. Okay, back to the phones. The number is 222-9393. Craig, welcome to the post-game show. How are you? Hi, Craig. How are you tonight?
Good. How's it doing?
Well, we've been better, but we got a point tonight. It's better than nothing.
Couple quick things. The last couple of callers. Fireworks show, not that great. Becky doing quality runs, I didn't see any. He was nitpicking and cheap shotting. Then he did have a good chance. They called him on it because he deserved it. He didn't have a good header, though. Start of the game, sub of the game, Ray, boom, boom, baby. He spurred on as the last 10 minutes. I don't know why he doesn't play more. Aaron Lyons, like Sam said, great game. But, he's definitely hustle. Ray on the other side, tons of hustle. But, Ray sparked him on. Ray definitely subbed the game. Looks like Charles Becky ate a sub before he came on. I don't know. He didn't get no sub the game in my mind. But,
you know what, though? Correct, to defend Becky. I think when Becky first came on, you could see the nervousness. He was trying to impress Coach Callaway. He was trying too hard. He was forcing it. As time went on, he started to settle down, and his game got better. I got to give him that.
No, I like him. He's a great player, and he does good. But he definitely deserve the sub of the game. That's for sure. That's all.
All right. Well, thanks for the call, man.
Yep.
All right, the number here again, 222-9393. It's the Nextel Direct call-in show, driven by Auto Depot and Auction Direct. Joe Giuliano with Soccer Sam, sporting his Rhino scarf.
Do you like that?
It's nice.
It's from the Stampede.
Nice little gift there. It's a little warm for a scarf, but if anybody can do it in July, you can.
Got my gloves on, too.
Let's go back to the phones. We have Iggy on the line. Iggy, welcome to the post-game show. Your thoughts on the 1-1 draw with Toronto tonight?
Hey, it's me. It's Iggy.
Hey.
What'd you think tonight, Iggy?
Well, I remember when I went up to Toronto because I was going through withdrawal, and I was looking at their roster, and like I said back then, they looked pretty good on paper, but, they had just gotten all those guys, and so now, those guys have been playing together and look like they're a good team. This was not the same Toronto team that we beat, 3-0 up in Toronto.
Yeah, that game was 2-0. Sammy was there. I didn't get a chance to see the Lynx in that game. And, I just know from their history that they're a team that struggles in this league, and the Rhinos, they're 16-2 all-time against Toronto in Rochester. Now it's the first time ever between the Lynx and the Rhinos that they've tied in Rochester.
Wow. Ig, I agree with you. We saw those guys coming in last game in Toronto, but they're pulling it together. I mean, Jeffries looked great tonight. I thought the Neto guy, number 21, came in later in the game.
He was the sub of the game, in my opinion.
He was an amazing player, I think, up top. He can make things happen. Jamie Daz, we talked about. This is a good team. Robbie Arestademo is a great, great player that's never been on a great team.
All right, throw the indoor comment in. Go ahead.
And he's a great indoor player. Sorry. But, I don't know what to tell you about our Rhino team, what the problem is. I really can't figure it out. I sat here tonight, I looked at it, I can't figure it out, Ig. We need guys like you and Friedman to help us here.
Well, I thought we had a few opportunities early, and it turned out to be the kind of game that, if you don't capitalize on those opportunities, Connolly Adolfson had a couple, point-blank headers that he missed, and, that was it. We could have used one of those. But, I thought Aaron Lyons played great. Martinez played great. John Ball we missed. So, we've got guys. We just have to play the right people,
It just wasn't happening tonight. Last week it was a magical night, 5-4 win. And then the week before that, New Hampshire, 5-1 win. So things were going right for the Rhinos tonight, just a little offbeat. Again, let's not get too crazy, folks. The Rhinos are still at the top of the table, even though they tied Toronto 1-1 tonight here at Paytech Park. Iggy, anything else?
No, just looking forward to the game tomorrow. And that Sheffield Wednesday, they look good against that All-Star team. The All-Star team was impressive. I liked a lot of the players on there. I thought for not being able to practice much together, they looked really good. But I didn't like the fact that Laurie had to sit so close next to DeSantis,
you could sense the tension right on the television.
Yeah, you could sense that Laurie was like, if you say one word to me, I'm going to smack you.
All right, Iggy, thanks for the call tonight. This is the Nextel Direct Call-In Show. The number's 222-9393. Back to the phones. Rob, you're on the show. Your thoughts on tonight's game?
Hello.
Hey, Rob, how you doing tonight?
Good, Joe. My thoughts are this. Greg Howes, he looked like he ran a marathon before he played tonight. He doesn't have much pace. What in the world was Johnny Menyonger taken out for? That guy needs to play the whole game. And where was John Ball? Injury, family matters, where was he tonight?
John Ball was forced to sit out. He got 5 yellow cards in USL play, so he had to sit out his 1-game suspension.
I guarantee you that if he was on that ball Dojan had where he walked the dog on Zagar, he would have put that in the net. Would have been 2-0. But, yeah, I'm really disheartened. I mean, Toronto team has about 2 good players in the team. Zagar is washed up, and we couldn't put 2 goals together on this team. That's pretty pathetic.
A couple comments that you made about, first of all, Johnny Menyonger, when he came out, he immediately iced his leg, his lower part of his leg, so I think something might have happened. It looks like more of a shin problem. I don't think it's anything serious, so I think that's why that substitute was made. But it was kind of weird. I've never seen this before. When Duncan Wild, is that his name, the coach for Toronto, he saw that it was Menyonger coming out, he clapped. He clapped over to him like, good job, but then again, thanks for coming out of the game.
Yeah,
it was kind of weird.
I think Howes is a good indoor player. I mean, he's a pro and I'm not, but let's be real here. He doesn't have any pace. There's no comparison to him. When Lennon was at his peak of his powers, he couldn't carry Lennon as a central defensive midfielder. We need somebody. I mean, he can run down those balls into space. He looks like he's running underwater. All right, I mean, I'm not going to get on the I'm not going to drink the Kool-Aid. Sorry. I'm not going to drink the bandwagon. I love this team, but when I see them playing, they look like a tragedy tonight. Really, they played it. They did a really, and then they put in Ambersley. I don't know. Some of these guys, in my opinion, they shouldn't even be on this roster. To tell you the truth.
I think that move was to try and spark something. Menyonger, maybe Coach Kelly didn't think he was that creative midfielder that we needed tonight. I think that was a move just to try and spark things up. I don't think the injury to Menyonger had anything with the issue with him coming out. But, we're going to call it like we see it, too. It was not a good Rhinos performance tonight. We're not trying to be just pro Rhinos all the way and, kind of close our eyes to things. Tonight was not a good game for the Rhinos.
How about those Rhinestones?
They're a good side. Rochester's a good side, but they got to beat the team. Because right now, like you said, Montreal's hitting their stride, and, when Sutton gets back in goal again, it's going to be even more difficult. I mean, they're a good team.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, Joe, I don't want to slam this team, so I'm not gonna. But something needs to give here. Somebody needs to jump up.
This is nothing personal. These are not personal attacks. These are just 2 guys making their observations about what they see tonight. And it's a great season that we're having. Tonight was not a good night, and we're going to call it like we see it. And that's what happened here tonight. The number again, 222-9393. It's the Nextel Direct Call-In Show. There are some other games in the USL First Division tonight. Montreal at Minnesota. They kicked off at 8:05. And Seattle at Portland, 11 p.m. kickoff. That's going to be on Fox Soccer Channel. The number here again is 222-9393. Back to the phones, and let's speak with Gary. Gary, you're on the postgame show. How are you tonight?
Very, very good. I want to talk to Selby Fanta. How are you, baby?
Good, Gary. What's up? What'd you think of the game?
Listen, I think Lloyd Callaway played more of a defensive game after giving up 4 goals last week. I think he probably went over in practice, stressed his defense, and I think the team, was just not used to so much defense. They were afraid to give up a goal. I saw some brilliant moves there, especially with Lines. I think he's an excellent ball player, And I saw some good stuff from Martinez and, of course, Vallo, like Iggy mentioned earlier in your broadcast, And I don't think everybody should get down on this team here. I think they're just finding their way around a little bit more. And Toronto is a far improved team. I don't think anybody realizes the record is not as good as they played tonight, What do you think about that, Sam?
I'm agreeing with all your points there.
I got to step in.
Oh, okay.
Gary, I disagree. The Rhinos came out with 3 in the back. That's not defensive loaded in my opinion. But, that's great about the show. That's how we
I think they played a more defensive midfield game, Jeff. I really did. I think they were more. I think their midfielders hung back a little bit more. They had some opportunities in the front with Connolly up front. and they didn't capitalize on them. But I think they stayed back more than they normally do, you know. I think Laurie Callaway plays that old English style football, you know, where you play a strong team with a long ball up front, and it just wasn't working, you know, and it looked a little awkward at times, you know. But, you know, I enjoyed the game, I'll tell you right now. I think Laurie Callaway should be applauded for being the coach this year. I really love the guy. That's all I wanted to say tonight. You guys have a nice night.
All right. Thanks a lot, Gary.
Gary.
Appreciate the call.
Hey.
You called me Jeff. I got to call you Tony. Hope you're not mad. Oh, Gary's gone. Only kidding with you, buddy. We love you. Thanks for the call. He's right there. It was a defensive midfield. There was kind of two guys next to each other with Menyonger at the top of the triangle.
But, you know, Jeff, I saw. I'm sorry, Joe. I saw Kelly, our producer's cracking up over there.
Kelly, don't laugh. Just find the score.
I got to tell you though, Conley Dozier kind of messed up in the corner there. He had an opportunity. He came out of the game. T-bone, front of the net, nice cross. Aaron Lyons put the ball across.
Just late getting there.
And he came out of the game. So I think a lot of these guys are
nervous.
It's a lot of pressure, man. You know you mess up, you're out of the game.
That's what we saw with Becky. He came in, and you could see the pressure. Every time he made a mistake, coach was kind of animated about what had happened, and Becky looked over every time. And, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of pressure on these guys. They're pros, and it's a lot to deal with. The number here again is 222-9393. Sam with that scarf out is just killing me here in the middle of July. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, Nancy. How are you? And thanks for holding on. Nancy, you're on the postgame show.
Yes.
How are you, honey?
Good, thanks.
What do you
I
think
just
tonight?
want to say
1-1.
that I think tonight's game was played by Scotty Vallow, Aaron Lyons, and Frankie Sanfilippo. They played for the whole team tonight. I think the two subs of Martinez and Eversley were very refreshing. They should both get a lot more playing time. And I think they really struggled tonight. And I think a lot of the reason that the Rhinos are struggling and not playing as a team is everybody's trying to impress the coach and justify their playing time on the field, so they're not playing with each other. When they get the ball, they're trying to do it all on their own to prove they deserve to be on the field. They need to relax, or they need to play more as a team. I think they can do it, but they're just too busy trying to impress the coach.
That could be. That's a good point. And when you do that, you don't do things you normally do when you play the game of soccer. But the rhythm, the flow just was not there tonight for the team. And hopefully, I think the best thing that could happen for this team, Sammy, is you get into another game right away. Tomorrow night, you don't have a lot of time to sit around and think about it. You get right back into action, and I think that's the best thing that could happen for the team right now.
I agree.
You're listening to the Nextel Direct call-in show driven by Auto Depot and Auction Direct. We're going to take a break here because Soccer Sam's going to take off the scarf. He's starting to sweat here in the middle of July with the winter scarf on. No, I'm just kidding. When we come back, we'll take more of your calls at 222-9393. This is the Nextel Direct call-in show driven by Auto Depot and Auction Direct on the Rhinos Broadcast Network.
They've got new stomping grounds, and they're ready to kick it. The Rochester Rhinos stampede their way through another action-packed season from their new home at Paytech Park. And the only way to follow this herd is in the Democrat and Chronicle sports section. From the first whistle to the final kick, we'll be there to cover it all. So pick up a copy before and after every game, or subscribe today. Call 232-5550 or go online at democratandchronicle.com. It's the only way to follow the herd.
Perform every play, one snap at a time.
All in one motion. Ball and go.
Men, we got something to prove.
That's it, Marvin. Good job, Marvin.
You better believe.
Syracuse football season tickets are on sale now, starting at just $144. Show your orange pride and get your tickets now online at suathletics.com or call 1-888-DOME-TICKS.
Cheering on your Rhinos is even more fun with a group of friends, teammates, family, or coworkers. Group rates are available for parties of 10 or more. Groups will sit together, and your group name will be displayed on the video board. We also have special catering packages available for groups. If you're interested in booking a group outing, call 454-KICK. For more information, log on to rhinosoccer.com.
And now, back to the Rhinos on Fickle 93.3 FM.
Welcome back to the Nextel Direct call-in show driven by Auto Depot and Auction Direct. Looking over, I see more fireworks going on This is the third fireworks show downtown tonight, and what a huge performance tonight here in Rochester. The Red Wings, the Rhinos, some show you wanted to go see at the Blue Cross Arena?
American Idol.
American Idol.
A lot happening downtown
tonight. And Sam, big news just coming in from our producer, Kelly. Out of James Griffin Stadium in Minnesota, the Rhinos get a huge break, a huge favor from the Minnesota Thunder. Minnesota 2, Montreal 1. So the Impact stay with 32 points at the top of the table. And Minnesota now with 14 points. That means Toronto still at the bottom of the barrel in the USL First Division. Number here again, 222-9393. Soccer Sam has no reaction to that. I'm excited about it, but what are you going to do? Let's go back to the phones and speak with Scotty from Hilton. Scotty, welcome to the post-game show. The Rhinos and Toronto end up 1-1 tonight. What'd you think, kid? Scotty, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Joe.
What'd you think tonight, Scotty? 1-1 tonight here, Rochester and Toronto.
Well, you know, the Rhinos played flat. And Sam and Joe, this is Scotty from the Firehouse. You know me, Joe.
I know you very well. You're the man.
You're my hero. Anyway, the Rhinos played flat. Toronto, compared to the Rhinos, did not play like a last-place team. And two things I want to mention. I'll let you guys go back to the other callers. The music. The music has got to go. I understand that the Rhinos got to advertise, and Paytech Park needs money from the advertising dollars, but the music has got to go. Chicken-Eyed Joe, or whatever they call that thing, I want to blow my brains out every time I hear that song. What is it, Chicken-Eyed Ho, or what is it, Cotton-Eyed
Joe,
or whatever?
I like it.
And
I
can't
got to back
it.
out of this conversation.
Anyway, and the other thing, listen, I'm 40, and I know I'm a guy, but I thought I was at the Classy Cat at halftime with the Rhinestones. I mean, come on. Let's do some kind of like cheerleading stuff. I really felt like I was at a strip club. Not that I'm complaining, but, you know, I'm a family guy. You know, I'm getting kind of older.
Yeah, Scotty, but listen, you're not that old, but I got to tell you, though, I mean, the Rhinestone, that's like a Las Vegas show. I'm not kidding you. Those girls practice every day, 7 days a week.
It shows.
But if you go to...
It shows.
Do you have a daughter? Do you have a daughter?
Yeah. 15-year-old.
If your daughter ever takes dance, or if you go to a dance recital from girls 6 years old to 18, that's what you see. It's a show. It's
I know,
artistic.
but I just
it's
well,
beautiful.
Maybe it'll attract more soccer players. I don't know. But
no,
but
it's
that was just a side note. The one thing I do, the music is too loud. The songs are too loud, and they break up the monotony of the. Or they break up the I don't know what I want to say, the camaraderie of the game, you know. Just let them play soccer.
I need you to do me a big favor.
Yeah.
Next game, you're coming tomorrow night, right?
Yes, I am. Sheffield Wednesday.
Right. Try not to stare at the Rhinestones, and just look at the little kids around you. And when the music goes on, guys like you and me are still watching the game, but those little kids that are 5, 6, 7, 8 years old are dancing in their seats, and it keeps them occupied, and it makes them want to come back to a game. That's why the music's important.
You're right. I can see that, but I and Joel are football players, and we just want to play football. That's what I go to see. But I understand the entertainment aspect of it. All right, you put me in my place, okay?
Thank you, Scotty.
All right, Scotty, thanks for the call tonight. The number is 222-9393, and I love the Rhinestones. That you did a great job if you put them together this year. I don't know if you did or not, but what a great group of girls you put together.
Absolutely nothing to do with it.
And the music thing, I can't jump in on that because I've got my headset on and I can't hear if there's music. I did notice tonight, though, I thought it was very quiet in the stadium. There wasn't a lot of buzz tonight. Not music, but fans screaming and yelling. You didn't have the headsets on. What did you think?
The Stampede make their chance the whole game, but the rest of the crowd is dead.
It was dead tonight.
There's no. You need that music to create some kind of environment. You really do. And until we have that World Cup type chanting the whole game, you need that, and it makes a difference. I see little friends of mine's kids. They're jumping up and down. Every time a certain song comes on, they start dancing to it. You need that.
Good point. Good point, Sammy, and thanks for the call there from Scotty and Hilton. Let's go back to the phones. We have Bill on the line. Bill, welcome to the post-game show. Oh, Phil, I'm sorry. Phil, welcome to the post-game show tonight. The Rhinos and Toronto tie 1-1. We'll punch you up right here now, Phil. Welcome to the show.
Hello, guys.
Sorry, Joe.
Hey, Phil, how are you tonight?
Hey, doing all right. All right. Hey, look forward to tomorrow night. I guess I'm trying to kind of put this game away here, and so kind of look forward to tomorrow night. And I really think Toronto is much better than what people give them credit for. I was a little disappointed in the play up top. I thought Delacourt was doing nothing all night. I don't know why he stayed in. Everybody was around saying, let's take him out and put keep Menyonger in with Becky and see what they can do together. And I don't know what happened to when they took Menyonger out, but he went straight to the locker room. I don't know if he was PO'd or what. Do you have any idea?
I think he was upset because he didn't even shake Becky's hand when he came off the field. I think Adozian should have stayed on. I really do. For my unprofessional, untrained soccer, I think Adozian was having a great game. A little more pace than Becky and than Delicat. I think Becky and Delicat may have been Becky and Adozian may have been a good mix up top, but Coach saw something different on that. I thought Adozian was having a very good game. I agree with you.
Yeah, I don't know why he took him out. As soon as he took him out, things changed. Things didn't go the right way. And the other thing, too, I know there was some comments about the English playing a little bit too much long ball, and I think that's the difference this year that I really don't like is the fact we play so much ball, and if we don't get the ball up in the air, if we don't get it to those guys' heads, we don't score. And we got to do something different. The midfielders, they just wait too long. They got to start pushing up. They got to start taking some guys on. Ray Martinez, man, get these guys on. Don't have ball kicked out of bounds and we get a throw in, then sit there and wait for the defenders to come back, set up, and then we try to move the ball for a cross header when there's a full team on defense. So we got to pick up the pace a little bit. And that's
a good point.
You got to say they better do it tomorrow night, or Wednesday's going to pick them apart.
You make a good point too about when you got the big guys up top. I thought the whole theme and strategy was to send the ball to those big guys, let them settle it or knock it off to guys who are trailing in behind them. We haven't seen a lot of that lately. It seems like the style has changed just a little bit.
Well, Juninho's out there, not playing anymore. John Ball in the beginning of the year on the road trip, that's what you saw a lot of that. Menyonger was getting into the attack more. Juninho, John Ball, feeding off those guys, and this is not happening right now. But I'm sure Coach Callaway has a game plan, and they'll change. I think they're a little surprised tonight on how well Toronto played. I thought they played very well.
Yeah.
Phil, anything else before we let you go?
Nope. That's it, guys. Keep up the good work. Talk to you next week.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the call. Hopefully we'll talk to you tomorrow night as the Rhinos have a friendly against Sheffield Wednesday. Let's go back to the phones. The number here is 222-9393. And again, the final score tonight, Rochester 1-1 with Toronto Spins. You're on the post-game show. How are you tonight?
Hey, Joe. How's Sandy? How are you tonight?
We're hanging in there.
I'm just stopping in my Dunkin' Donuts here to get a turbo coffee because I need to stay up a little bit tonight to go on the web boards and see what everybody else thought the man of the match should be tonight. And if I'd like to give my nomination right now.
Sure,
if I may, I would have to say that would be Section 132, the Stampede. I don't know if anybody else in the stadium heard the USA chant, but that was probably a world record lengthwise for the Stampede, and I think we were pretty loud as well.
It was very, very beautiful. It was very emotional when I heard that chant. Mikey Moran, Spin Master, takes care of the Rhino website, rhinosoccer.com. I think it's the best soccer website in the world. And, Mike, thanks for all your hard work, man. You're a huge fan now. You're hanging out with the Stampede. That's cool.
Yeah, I figured Johnny K of the Rhinos is taking care of the content of the site, so I get basically a year off to enjoy the atmosphere of the stadium. And I've got to comment on perhaps what I think is the biggest misperception about the stadium is the parking. I come every week, and I never have problems parking, whether I'm there early, late, or, during the, of course, getting in during the game is not that difficult at all. So I just want to say the parking is really not a problem. If anybody's listening out there and the parking situation is, dissuading them from coming down, that's the wrong thing to do because you'll find a place to park. There's plenty of places to park in that area.
Mike finds a place to park even when he doesn't come to the game. That's amazing. It's amazing how you do that.
All right, Jeff, we'll talk to you tomorrow. You guys did a good job again tonight as usual. And about the game, sorry we didn't come away with a win, but what can you do?
All right, Mike, thanks for the call. He does. I got to echo your thoughts on that. He does a tremendous job on the website, rhinosoccer.com. Great job, Mike. Keep it up. Wonderful stuff. Let's go back to the phones. The number again, 222-9393. Yuri, welcome to the postgame show. How are you this evening? Yuri, how are you?
Sam.
Yuri.
Sam. What do I got to do to get a hold of you? I got to call a post-game show to get a hold of you?
Yuri from Eurotech Soccer Store, the official Yoma supplier for the Rhinos. Yuri, your thoughts on tonight's game?
I was a little disappointed, with the substitutions in the second half. I thought, like you guys, Connolly was having a good game. Maybe should have kept him in a little longer. Maybe put in Becky a little earlier, leave Menyonger in there. But, coach got to do what he's got to do.
It's a tough job being a coach with that much talent on your team. Yuri, last week when Ndosian scored the goal, he jumped over to you, got in the seats, and you poured the water on him. Are you guys like, do you sponsor him or something? How do you know him?
He's actually sponsored by Joma. He wears the shoes and the clothes. He likes it. I don't know why he came to me. There was a good-looking girl right next to me, and he came running to me. So we're gonna have to have a talk about that.
You probably stepped in front of the girl, Yuri. Anything else, Yuri? Thoughts or comments?
No, Sam. But come and pick up that Portugal. Now I'm going to sell it.
All right, Yuri, I'll come and see you, man. Thanks for the call, buddy. And thanks for all your support of the Rhinos in soccer.
Okay, take care. Thank you.
All right, Yuri, thanks a lot for the call. The number here again is 222-9393. Sam, let's take a break. We'll take a break. We'll come back and take your calls here on the Nextel Direct call-in show driven by Auto Depot and Auction Direct on the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Welcome back to the Nextel Direct call-in show driven by Auto Depot and Auction Direct. Joe Giuliano with Soccer Sam here at Paytech Park. If you're just tuning in, the final score a little surprising to some fans, and also to Soccer Sam and myself, 1-1. Toronto, a much improved team against the Rochester Raging Rhinos. The number here is 222-9393. We go back to the phones, and Sam, we've been getting a ton of calls tonight.
A lot of calls.
Let's keep it up. Tim, you're next on the postgame show. How are you?
I'm doing well, guys. How are you?
We're doing good. What'd you think about the game tonight?
Well, I was listening to it on the web. Sam, this is Tim Tobin from Homa.
Timmy, how are you, sir?
Cheers, guys. How you doing? Okay.
Good, man. Thanks.
Very good.
I tell you, our uniforms are the nicest looking uniforms in the whole league. Good stuff.
And Tim, you guys got a bonus tonight because they came out with the black shorts, and then on the sideline had to change into white shorts. So we got a couple different looks for you guys tonight.
So they went from the Rhinos to Juve.
Exactly. That's what they look like tonight.
That's right.
Juve goes white. So, but that's I heard that when Sam made his opening comments when he came on tonight about that. He said it was a crazy night, but I didn't hear that part before the game. So when I was listening to it, it is a little disappointing, but it sounds like a few of the boys showed well, but I guess we have to have 11 of them do that every game.
It's tough, Tim, and I think what a lot of fans don't understand is that in all sports, guys have good games, bad games, and in soccer, it's such a mental thing that sometimes if you have 3 or 4 guys that aren't on their game, it just changes the complete rhythm of the game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A guy puts his head down, thinks about the last play. Yeah. Coach Callaway does have a tough job. I guess none of us will ever know. The coach is the only one who knows, why he makes decisions and changes and or starting lineups. I don't profess to be a professional coach, so I try to keep my opinion to myself.
That's awesome. Now, where are you listening from? Where's your home state?
I live in Freehold, New Jersey.
Nice. You listen to a lot of the games?
I listen to every one of them.
Oh, that's great.
Awesome.
That is great. We're happy to hear that.
Last week I got booted just before Lori came on, so Lori was the last call.
I'm glad you got in. You guys got a great product, and the guys look sharp.
Well, that's good. I just, it translates onto the field, and, we're happy to take care of the Rhinos, and it's, great exposure for Homa. Always has been since day one. And, I got a kick out of hearing Yuri call.
Tim, I tell you, I got to meet you with Coach Callaway back in the day when we first went over to you guys, and it's weird how I'm like at the mall or I'm at a store and I'll see someone with a Grease jersey on or a Hilton jersey or the Wheatland, and I'll see the Yoma or Joma, and I'm thinking, I honestly, I've been a soccer guy all my life. I really wasn't aware of Joma back before that show where we met you.
Yeah.
And now it's like it's everywhere. My kids are wearing the Joma sneakers from last year, and it's like their friends asking where you get them. They're hip and cool. So you guys are really out in this marketplace thanks to Eurotech and what you guys done. So keep up the good work.
Well, I think it's thanks to the Rhinos. They're willing to stick it out with us after a few hiccups last year, and I think we came through pretty good this year. But that's not really the reason why I called, because I'm a fan of the Rhinos now, and I enjoy listening to it every Friday or Saturday night. Here at home in the comfort of my couch, up there for the match, the opening game. So I'm sorry I missed you there. But I'm hoping to get up there for the Revolution game, actually.
All right, August 2nd.
We'll have you on the air that night, too, for sure, Tim. All right, thanks for the call.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thanks for listening on the web, Don Stevens, myself, and the Rhinos organization. Really appreciate that. The number here again is 222-9393. Let's talk to Brian on the post-game show. Brian, how you doing tonight? Brian, are you there?
Hi. Hello?
Hi, Brian. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Good. How you guys doing? I just got a couple comments.
Sure, go ahead.
I think the reason that the Rhinos lost is because the Stampede. I think they were a little loud, throwing them off their game. And who got subbed out for Becky? Because Becky was horrible.
Becky replaced Connolly Adozian.
Yeah, Dozier, he should have stayed in because Becky just came in and he wasn't making any runs. One header he just should have flicked over. He would have got a goal, but he didn't. He misjudged it. He was just doing everything wrong.
Again, I think he just feels the pressure. I got to give him this, though, guys. He did settle down after a couple of rough late challenges. Becky, he wants to get that starting job back. Not the way to do it with some of those challenges tonight, but I think Becky, he'll come around again for this team as the season goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else, Brian?
The Stampede, are they getting bigger or something? Because I sit on the opposite side of them for season, and they keep getting louder and louder. And tonight it was kind of bad.
Have you ever sat with them?
I was standing next to them for about 5 minutes because I came late, and they were real loud.
I'll tell you, a lot of my friends that have gone over there for a few minutes, they really love it. They love the whole World Cup atmosphere that those guys bring to it. So, maybe it's not for everyone, but a lot of people do enjoy it.
Yeah. But okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate your call and your comments on the match tonight. The number again is 222-9393. This is the Nextel Direct call-in show. Let's go back to the phones. We have Frank on the line. Good evening, Frank, and how are you tonight?
Oh, pretty good, thanks. At least I am pretty good. Guys, when I was working, I kept my job because every day I did my job. Good. Not just loafing around like our team done it today. They did not pay anything. And they took John out again, and then it got worse. He's the only one who ever run after the ball. The rest of them just standing there and looking at each other. He say, who's going to kick the ball? I said, come on.
Yeah,
if they don't want to play soccer, why they stay in Rochester? They could go home and look at each other, and they won't get paid like they do today.
Well,
they don't deserve a pay.
Well, tonight was a tough one. Tonight was a tough one. It definitely was not.
I went up to Toronto in the first game, and I always going after the team. But after today, I don't think I am going to move any place because they don't do nothing. They don't deserve it. Good things we got a good goalie. Otherwise, we would end up with how could a team at home, and it's not a new field anymore, Sam, like you said, that's a new field.
Sorry.
They playing on it, they training on it. How could at halftime Toronto outshot Rochester 10-2? Come on. Either the team gotta go or the coach gotta go. If a coach can handle the team, let's quit.
All right, Frank, listen. Let's not all jump off the deep end here again. It's one loss. We saw an exciting game last week.
Listen, that's not one loss. What did they do against Charleston? They did the same thing. Just because we won last week 5-4, one bird doesn't make spring. So we beat New Hampshire. Come on, that's the second-class team.
Frank, listen though,
I am listening. Just watch it. What they're going to do tomorrow.
Okay.
And I tell you right now, Sam. I'll tell you, we're going to end up in the number 5 place in the league. If we are lucky. If we are lucky.
I don't think so, but that's a big drop.
Okay, you want to bet ahead?
I don't bet. I'm not a betting man. Sam will bet on that with you.
I'll bet you.
I know.
Frank, I got to tell you something.
Me and I know you.
Frank, you were on the first ever Rhino road trip way back in the day.
Yes, I do, and I follow it every day.
You can't give up on this team right now. You're going to get it together.
I am not giving up on the on attitude. The way they done it today, Sam. On attitude.
Nerves.
Like the same in Galan.
Well, Frank, we understand your feeling, and we're happy you're so passionate about the team. But I said loss. I mean, we tied tonight. You're going back to a few games here and there.
We are very lucky.
I think we're definitely lucky. If we didn't get to PK, I don't think we would have had any other chances tonight.
That's
but
right.
This is a very good team. Don't give up on them. They're going to come around. I think Coach Callaway is an excellent coach. You just got to work through this that's going on. It's taking longer than we expected, than we thought. I think the injuries
that's what we said last year. That's what we said last year.
No, last year we said that he came in and was kind of handed players from Elkerley and Economides, and that was difficult.
Okay. I am not...
Frank, I disagree with you. I appreciate your call. Anything else before we let you go?
Yes. Good luck to the team. Good luck.
Frank. Nice, Frank.
Otherwise, we'll be in big trouble. You won't have any fans.
Okay. Thank you for the call, Frank. I totally disagree with your comments.
How many years did he work?
Coach. Who, Frank? I don't know, maybe 25, 30, 45.
You never...
But there's no way.
I got fired 15 times in my life.
I don't know. That's a little drastic. He's a huge fan of you. Appreciate that. But to get rid of the coach at this point, that's a little premature.
Frank was in Seattle for the first final 96. He flew to Seattle with his wife.
No kidding.
I'm serious. They wore those Groff shirts, and you were part of the broadcast.
Yeah, I remember that.
Frank's been around that long.
Did you have black hair then?
I had hair back then. Now I got more hair on my back than my head. Something's wrong there.
Let's go back to the phones. The number's 222-9393. And Frank, I love you. Don't get upset with me, okay? Adam, you're on the show. How are you tonight?
What up? What are you talking about?
People are going nuts.
Don't you guys have, like, the little red button, the dumb button?
Just Sam's head.
My wife has one home. Every time I try to say something. What's up, Adam?
Not the best result, 1-1.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Right.
Montreal just lost to the worst team in the league. You think they're killing themselves over it? No. And technically, if you actually look at it, we're really the number 2 team in the league. We're not number 3. I mean, what? We go, 4 games ahead of us?
Yeah, 4 games more than us.
How many points do they have more than we do? Like, what, 2?
1 more point than us.
1 point? Wow, big deal.
That's it.
Big deal. Did you look at the schedule, the last few games we have on the schedule? They all look easy. We're taking the league this year.
Taking the league?
That's right. We're going to win a title.
I'm going to bring Frank over to you guys. You guys could do a nice bet. It'd be nice. I don't know if that's legal, but we'll do it.
Convert Frank. Would you please? He's upset tonight. He's on the Bay Bridge, I think, right now.
Again.
The other thing is, I have no idea what that Brian guy was talking about. Okay.
We've had so many calls. Refresh our memory. What was Brian saying?
The guy right before Frank, I think.
Okay.
The guy who said the Rhinos lost because of the stampede.
The stampede. Yeah.
And for anyone's information, yes, we are getting bigger. And yes, we won't stop until we have at least 1,000 people. Okay,
wow.
The whole goal is eventually, in the next few years, is to buy out, the whole behind a goal section.
Hey, that'd be wonderful, man. Get the flag and the shirt going, throw the toilet paper all over the place. That'd be great. Just like England.
You know what? I thought that Brian guy was with you. I thought he was being sarcastic.
So did I.
Thought he was one of your
That's the thing. I
boys.
don't understand. I mean, it sounded sarcastic at some point, and it didn't. So I'm really confused. Maybe the guy could go back and actually, tell everyone what the heck is going on here, because I'm a little off.
Yeah, he was just trying to get a reaction out of Joe.
It didn't work. Sorry, I'm like dead. Okay, so it's nothing. Adam, anything else?
The cheerleaders thing. I think people are also overdoing it with the cheerleaders. First of all, they're not even getting paid. They're just over there doing fun, entertaining people. No one's forcing you to watch them. And I don't care what that 40-year-old says. He is watching them. Okay? I don't care if he's with his wife or whoever. He is watching them because they're smoking hot.
And if I wasn't married, I'd agree with you. All right.
I don't even notice them.
You agree with me anyway. Deep down, you do. Don't lie. Your wife's not listening, probably. Come on.
All right, let's keep this about soccer before I get home and the doors are locked. Adam, thanks for the call, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, take care, bud. Thanks for the call tonight.
Thing.
You still going on?
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, you're not finished?
No, let's go.
No, make it quick. Go ahead.
Yeah, because the Kelly thing is, he's all right. He's got his little philosophy of coaching. We'll see how it all works out in the end. But till the end, we're with him, we're with the players. One thing disappointing me, though, is after the game, I think the players were, really disappointed in themselves as well. I don't know if they're listening or not right now, but you guys should tell them, if we don't win or whatever, don't be all mad, man. It's not the end of the world. We still got the playoffs to go through. This is like the preseason. So, already on.
Adam,
132.
thank you for the call, Adam. We appreciate it. And that's what I said, too. It was not a good performance tonight, but not the end of the world. Everyone jumping off the deep end. We're in top 3 teams in the league. Let's settle down here. Talk about tonight's game, but not get crazy and carried away and say this team's going to finish in 15th place or 5th place, whatever Frank said. Let's relax.
Yeah,
the team is definitely going to be fine.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's going to be either first or second. It depends what happens in Montreal.
Kelly, thanks, or Adam, thanks for the call. We got Scotty Bello calling in right now. Oh, go ahead. Hurry up.
One more thing, okay? The Rhinos are winning August 9th. That's a guarantee.
August 9th?
That's right.
Who are they playing that night?
It's August 2nd, you mean, right?
No. August 9th.
Who are they playing?
In Montreal.
Oh,
okay.
Montreal game. I thought you were talking about the Open Cup game.
Yep, the Stampede are going.
Oh, really?
We
guys
always
going to
go,
Montreal?
All right, Adam, be safe up there. Scotty Vallo's on the line. Don't get any fights this time. Soccer Sam told me about the stories last year. All right, let's go back to the phones. Scotty Vallo, the goalkeeper from the Rhinos, on the line tonight. Scott, welcome to the post-game show. A very difficult night, not one of the better Rhino performances. We appreciate your time coming on here tonight.
No problem, guys. Yeah, we just weren't very good all around. I thought we created a couple good chances in the first half when Conley ran to the keeper, and then when Deli had that chance, the full volley at the top of the 18. But other than that, we really just weren't very good tonight.
I said it during the broadcast, too. It seemed like we had defenders, midfielders, and forwards, but no one playing together tonight. There was no rhythm, no flow. You're on the pitch. You're in the heat of the battle. Did you feel that same way, seeing it from behind?
Well, we played a new formation today at home to try to create some more chances. We played a 3-5-2. And, it's just, I don't know if it's just because it's the first time we've ever done it. It's kind of how we played the second half against Miami, where we had a lot of success and created a lot of chances. And then just it's disappointing not to get those same chances.
Scott, looking at Toronto, they're at the bottom of the table with 11, 12 points now, but are they a better team than we saw May 13th in Toronto?
Well, I think they've just got a little confidence right now. They've won, 3 out of 5, and they get a draw here. It's no matter what they bring to the table, it's still very frustrating for us and very disappointing not to get 3 points at home against the bottom team. So it's not a good result. There's nothing good that came out of this game as far as I'm concerned.
Well, Scotty, I thought you played fantastic. That one save in that lower corner, I don't even know how you got to that. Today's right up in the paper. It was a great story about you, and hey, the positive that is Ricky Lewis okay. That's what I was worried about. It looked like he hit heads really hard. Is he all right?
Yeah, he was spinning at halftime, so we took him out. His stomach didn't feel very right, and he just didn't feel right. So we made a change and brought in Palguda, an even swap, and we didn't skip a beat. We decided to change to a 4-4-2 about the 70th minute mark, and we just kind of lost our shape a little bit. And the goal they scored, I've never seen that happen before in my life, where a guy hits an 80-mile-an-hour shot 20 feet wide of the goal and right to another forward's head. And I think we were a little unlucky on that. We definitely don't deserve 3 points tonight. One, may have been a fair result, but either way, it's not 3 points, and it wasn't good enough.
Oh. Scott, looking forward to tomorrow against Sheffield Wednesday. After a performance like this tonight, again, not the best we've seen from the Rhinos by any means. Is it good to get right back into the game action and not worry about what happened here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a very tough test for us tomorrow. It's going to be kind of a mix of the first team and second team out there, so it's going to be a good enough lineup to hopefully get the results. We want to win every game. There's no friendlies as far as Laurie's concerned, and it's another opportunity for us to win. We don't get the 3 points, but we definitely can, make a name for ourselves and at least come out of this weekend on a positive note.
You had a chance to face Sheffield Wednesday in Cary, North Carolina. This is a team from a division that's just one step below the Premiership. What are your thoughts on their style of play? What kind of team are we going to see here tomorrow night?
Well, they're very organized. They're very disciplined. They play a very strict 4-4-2, and they get the ball out wide, and they really whip it in. I mean, I think that's probably the biggest thing that they do differently from this league is their quality of service is unbelievable. And, they've got some quality up top with Deon Burton, who played in the 98 World Cup for the Reggae Boys, and he played in the Prem for a couple of years. But they definitely have a lot of quality all over the field. And it's going to take a good run-up performance for us to beat them. But coming out of a performance like tonight, hopefully we'll be able to turn it around and, like I said, leave the weekend on a good note.
Congratulations, by the way, for making the USL All-Star team after like a 5-year absence of the actual game. But it was awesome to see you guys on national TV. You, Frankie Sanfilippo, I thought looked fantastic. Johnny Ball playing in the middle of the first half, second half went out wide and did his thing. John Ball, I don't like to talk about other players to players, but you are the captain of this team, so I'm going to do it. John Ball needs to be on the field. Unfortunately, yellow card. He didn't play tonight, but he makes such a difference. And Menyonger, the second half, I know some of the fans are upset that he came out, but he seemed to me that he was injured. Can you elaborate on any of those comments?
Well, if John Ball's out of suspension, he definitely starts tonight. As far as that's concerned, and Johnny Menyonger was taken off the field to bring in a different spark, and we didn't really get it. Mike Amberley did reasonably well. Neil Dombrowski did reasonably well. Charles, had a couple half chances that maybe could have done better with, but the substitutes that came in didn't really make that much of a difference for us, and we need that coming off the bench, especially 70th, 80th minute. We need guys that are really hungry coming on the field and really want to bang goals in, and for some reason we lacked that hunger tonight, and I don't know if it was heavy legs or what, but hey, it's a draw, it's not a loss, so that's a little bit of a positive. And we got tomorrow. Hopefully we can beat up on them.
All right, Scotty, get well rested. You don't have much time to recover as you go at it again with Sheffield Wednesday tomorrow night right here at Paytech Park. Thanks for your time, and let's shake this one off tonight.
Hey, thanks, guys. You guys do a great job.
Thank you, Scotty Vallow, for joining us here on the Nextel Direct call-in show, driven by Auto Depot and Auction Direct. Sammy, 1-1, I said it felt like a loss, but we still did get the point, and my final theme here is don't jump off the deep end, folks. Relax. It was a bad performance tonight. Things will turn around, and this team has got so much quality and so much character that there's no way I see them in fifth place.
This team's going to come around. Joe, I think there's a lot of we've talked about this before. Whenever there's too many good guys, there's too many decisions for a coach to make. I think eventually Coach Kelly's got to go with his top 11, stick with them, just like other teams do in other leagues. You have to stick with your top 11, and if they make a mistake, they make a mistake. That's how goals are scored in soccer. Guys make a mistake. You got to stick with that top 11 and try to rebuild some of this confidence. What I saw tonight It was a lot of guys lacking confidence or afraid to come out of the game or afraid, to not get a start the next game. And you can't play that way. Just relax, man. If you guys are out there listening, you got to go out there and just relax and play your game. You've been playing it all your life. I mean, at this point in time, a coach on the sidelines shouldn't be telling you to come back or get open or go wide. You got to know that. I mean, at this level, you already know what you're doing out there. Play with an open mind, man. Just like when the ball's being rocketed in the lower corner, Valo knows he's got to dive right, dive left. If your midfielder behind you has the ball, you know you got to get into open space and make things happen. It's all kind of like common sense, and you got to make it happen. Where for whatever reason tonight, I kind of agree with Frank a little bit. The guys just were playing like
tight. They were
too tight. And you can't play that way.
They were tight. No doubt about that.
And I think, we do this broadcast. Sometimes I feel that way when we're doing the broadcast. I mean, you got to just be yourself. You got to just relax and enjoy it.
You know what's needed right now, tomorrow night after the Sheffield Wednesday game? Some kind of team function. Just to kick back, relax, have a good time, and get back to the fun days. Because this team didn't look like they were having fun tonight.
A little tension out there. You can see it.
Very tight. No flow, no creativity, no flair.
I've had 3 fans at halftime come up to me and say that to me. They're just, you can tell they're not. When your guy gives you a bad pass, you're pointing fingers and all that. That's just a sign of tension.
Yeah.
And that has to go away, and it will go away. And I think Laurie Callaway is one of the best coaches in this league. And I think he's got a tough thing in front of him. Toronto, I mean, he's lucky to get 11 guys that actually start and play at this level. So he doesn't care. I mean, the guys sitting on the bench sit there the whole season. Who cares? Where a lot of it's easier for a coach to play. But when you look over and say, you know what, I got Becky over there. He could score goals. And I got this Johnny Steele that is not dressed tonight. He could sure goals. And all these decisions to make.
Yeah,
it's
a lot of choices.
tough.
A lot of choices. But again, let's just keep it positive, folks. This team is going to be very solid as we go on. We haven't hit our stride yet. Keep the support positive. We voiced our opinions tonight as we saw a bit of a clunker tonight for the Rhinos, no doubt about that. Sam, we're going to wrap this thing up. Your final thoughts tonight from Paytech Park.
My final thoughts is I love this game. You go from last week, the most exciting game in franchise history, fans calling up, love this team, the greatest team, where tonight everyone's disappointed. That's the beauty of this game. That's how it is throughout the world. And this city, Rochester, New York, is like teams in England and Italy and Germany and France. And that's what I love about it. All these people are still listening and still calling. They just love it, man. I'm out.
Sammy, we had 20 calls tonight on the post-game show. Incredible turnout. We want to thank every single fan and Scotty Vale for taking time to call us at 222-9393. Again, the final score tonight from Paytech Park. The Rhinos won. The Toronto Lynx won. Next game tomorrow night, 7:35 kickoff. I'll be on the air with pregame at 7:05. And Soccer Sam and I will hook up again for the post-game show tomorrow night. Final score, Rochester 1, Toronto 1. For our producer, Kelly Hilton, Soccer Sam, and Don Stevens, I am Joe Giuliano saying ciao for now. And thanks for listening to the Nextel Direct call-in show driven by Auto Depot and Auction Direct on the Rhinos Broadcast Network.